Well, before I do that, are you going? Okay, thank you. Good morning. This is our third day of budget workshops. Before we officially begin, we'd like to do an invocation and then we do the pledge. So, Mr. Beasley, would you like to do the invocation?
Absolutely. Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for the opportunity that we have to gather together. Lord, we would ask this morning that you would give us wisdom beyond what we have, strength beyond what we have, knowledge above what we have. Lord, we know that you provide everything that we have, and we thank you for that. Thank you for your son that died on the cross for me. Lord, we would ask that everything would be pleasing in your sight. We ask things in your son's name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, let's stand and do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Now I will officially open our work session. First thing this morning, we have the tax assessor's office, and I will ask you to announce yourselves. So for the public who might be watching, take roll call first. Do we have to do that? Okay, let's take roll. Thank you. Go ahead.
Commissioner Blakemore, I'll mark as absent. Commissioner Askew, I'll mark as absent. Chairwoman Teams.
Oh, here.
Commissioner Hart.
Here.
And Commissioner Wilson, I will mark as absent.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
This is the third day of doing the same thing, and you think I got it down right. But anyway,
That's okay.
go ahead, and whoever wants to announce themselves first, please feel free to do
Okay,
so.
well, I'm Terry Gilreath. I'm the Chief Appraiser for Walker County.
I'm Angela Ward. I'm the administrative department head.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Christian.
Christian Roach, the CFO.
Well, you didn't have to do that,
Oh,
but okay.
Sorry, I missed the
We were
memo.
all punch drunk after these 3 days.
So we'll start on page 40 in your packets. This is for tax assessors budget.
Oh, Mr. Askew is present.
Sorry, guys.
Okay,
No worries.
I'll revise my notes to show him present. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How is
sir.
everybody?
So on the budget on page 40, we are. It's looking like this budget is a $71,600 increase versus last year's budget. There were built in some cert raises and for getting certificates and a COLA into this. Then some small operating changes where I removed some capital expenditures and moved them up. There was a request for vehicles. I think it was $200,000. That's another expenditure I've moved to SPLOST if it would be approved, because we do have SPLOST funding for vehicles.
Perfect.
Okay.
So like the COLA you spoke about yesterday, I think you let out 3%.
I'm not. I think we did. Do you mind checking real quick? I think that Terry's office, you put in one yourself, right?
I put in for 5%.
I don't know if these
Trying to bring
numbers-
people up to
5%.
be competitive. We've got people that have been there for like 13 years. Level 1 appraisers just making $21 an hour. And we've got like Whitfield County's hiring level 1 appraisers off the street and starting them at $24 an hour. So we've got to do better than what we're doing here. So that's why we went with 5% to try to start getting these people up. So the work's not getting easier. You know, the legislators are making sure of that. And the load is tremendous, but I think treating people fairly, we've got to do better than what we're doing. So
This budget on here does represent a 3% with cert raises, not the 5% that they requested. So it would increase that $71,000 to go up to the 5%. And I will reiterate the information about Whitfield. They are asking for emails and trying to recruit our tax assessor staff.
they sent us a records request wanting their email and names, their positions, all of it.
That's just rude.
multiple times.
That's what's happening out there.
Yeah, it is.
That's what's happening.
Out of
Well-
bounds.
Walker County spends money training them, and then we can't pay them, so other counties try to get them, and they
We see
do.
that with sheriff's office.
Yeah,
too.
oh, yeah.
Deputies leaving, jumping us, going to Hamilton,
Mhm.
you know,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
We're just trying to keep the people we
I
have.
know, right.
All right, so we gotta do something, because it's expensive training people for other
Yeah,
counties.
It is.
So, I don't wanna do that. So we did make adjustments in other places too. One of the things that we're having to do is now we're having to send the notifications to those that are under conservation exemption. We send a letter out every year on the ones that's getting ready to expire. So now we're having to do it by certified mail, all of them. We just, we had some people that didn't show up to get renewed this year, because, you know, you have to beg people to get an exemption. And we just sent out another, was it 50 certified? So the conservation thing, it takes a lot to do that. And somebody, they don't sign up, they don't come in like they're supposed to, if they ignore the letters that we send out, then their exemption is removed. And then in October, when they get their tax bill, then they want to come and holler. So we're doing these things by certified mail. Of course, there was a law change to do it, but the board had already put in place to go ahead and start doing that, and to try to avoid that hassle later on in the year, because, you know, they not only gripe at us, they'll gripe at y'all. So we send the letters out. They say they don't get any of those, but they sure get the bill.
So the letter doesn't go with the bill, it's a separate.
No, separate time. We'll send those, because we're doing certified on all of them next year. We put $1,700 extra in for that next year. We'll send, you know, several hundred out around October of next year.
And it's just done every 10 years.
That's done every year.
I mean, the CUVA's done, like
Yeah.
once you lock your CUVA in, you don't get a letter for 10 years, right? That's what I'm saying,
Right.
but it's still a lot of
Right.
property.
So those letters are going out now, too?
Those aren't. We've just sent some out for this cycle
Renewals.
that they didn't show up.
Got it. Okay.
We're trying to get everybody in to get that hassle taken care of, so that they can get their exemption.
Terry, what happens maybe that's part of why it has to be certified mail now, because I don't have a lot of confidence in the postal service as far as, I mean, I see documents lost, personal, business, daily. So if somebody doesn't get their notification, is it just a one-shot deal that you give them? I mean, like one mailer they get, and then other than that, that's it? So,
We've done it again.
okay.
That's what we just sent out the other day, certified,
Right.
for those that didn't show up.
Okay, I got you.
So,
So that's the follow-up.
We try to reach out to them in multiple ways, multiple
ma'am.
times.
Yes, ma'am. I just was concerned about, just
Right.
the whole mailing thing has just gotten to be.
Oh, you're right.
It's gotten
And when
to
we
be terrible.
send notices out, everybody gets a notice of assessment.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm in charge of probating those notices. I have to go through proper stuff and
Yes,
send
ma'am.
it to the judge down here. And so when we get them back and we can't find any new addresses, then they have to be probated. We actually will get some 2 and 3 years old. They'll keep them at the post office and slide them in with the ones we
Yeah,
pick up.
We've had them show up.
Yeah, 2 or 3
8, 9,
years
10
late.
years later, so.
We appreciate you making that extra effort for folks, because I do know it's happened to a few people. that-
And if they don't, the time frame, if they don't sign up, and we get their notice of assessment, it'll say on there that their exemption was removed, or conservation was removed. They can sign up during that 45
Okay.
days and still
All right.
get it.
Good deal. I just had that thought in my mind.
They
Thank you
pay
for
attention
clarifying.
to that, and only this is the new notice assessment. I'll give y'all this, and it's going to be confusing. This is what they come up with, and there's a lot to it. And when they open it up, it's going to be confusing. But they really need to pay attention to it and see the reason as to why they got that. And that's down in the middle. It's not at the top like it ought to be. It ought to flow a little bit differently, but there is an assessment reason down there. Check that out and see if it says that conservation was removed, and get with us and get it back on there. So,
Okay.
but after that 45 days, there's no give. There's no not after that
They have to
point.
wait the next.
We begged you for the last time to get a tax break, so we move on. We have to.
Okay.
And also, they changed the law too this year, where on signing up for your homestead exemption to get that for that year, you can do that between January 1 and April 1. Well, now it's from January 1 and until the end of the 45-day appeal period. Notices will be in the mail tomorrow. The notice assessments this year will be in the mail tomorrow. Last day to file the appeal is going to be July 27th. So, and then July 28th, the board of assessors will meet and do the final digest to send to the tax collectors for them to do their thing, and to y'all, send the numbers to y'all. I don't know if y'all got that in the email yesterday.
Great.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go down that trail.
It's okay. We all own property, so we're all getting curious.
Okay.
All right, Christian.
Anything else we made, Justin?
No, pretty much everything mostly stayed the same except for our postal stuff and our vehicles and our salaries.
And did your board see this before you brought it here?
They have to approve it before we.
Just making sure. I figured y'all did that right. Does the board have any other questions for the tax assessor's office?
No, that's morning.
Okay. Christian? Okay. Well, we'll let y'all get out of here early then.
Oh, great.
Back to the grind.
Go get those assessments out.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for your hard
Thank you
work.
very much.
We're
Yeah.
just
Thank
frustrated.
you. We
Very
appreciate
frustrated.
y'all.
It's been aggravating. We really want that 5% to help get these people up. 'Cause it's a shame. It's an absolute shame what we're doing.
Good morning.
When you get the opportunity, you have a couple hours, come see us.
I will do so.
We've done that with everybody.
I appreciate that.
We try to educate
Yep.
as much as we can, because nothing bothers me more than one of y'all being embarrassed about something. And I don't want that to happen once you have the knowledge, know exactly what's going on, not be surprised by anything.
And you can learn it all in 2 hours.
Yeah.
You can come out confused. No, they were great. They were great. They've been great, and they do. They really go the extra step to help us. Because it's way over my head as far as a lot of
They're
it.
really good. That you guys and Sarah are really good to answer your questions
Yes.
just real quick too. So I always appreciate that.
Yes.
I try to. We're all in this together.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for seeing us.
And the board will be voting on the contractor for the renovation, it's not renovation, it's called,
Remediation and
no, it's
repair.
called,
What are they called?
restoration.
Restoration. There we go. Use the
Yes.
right word.
At the July meeting, so.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Mhm.
So that's exciting.
Mhm.
We're stepping over everything.
I know you are.
Ready to get it over with.
Yes. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sharon's probably not out.
Put it on restored. The pipe burst in the upper level of the office.
The next one's Sharon. Yeah. Sharon's not here yet. We are running a little ahead of
Schedule.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know that when we get to the sheriff's budget, we'll probably need a little bit more time, so I called him ahead and asked him to come a little early.
Okay, that's a good idea. But it's, Captain Anderson.
Yes, I
right?
called
Okay.
Captain Anderson,
Okay,
and I'm not sure if Major or anyone else is coming.
okay. Well,
Major Sheila?
I don't know if Cindy may come for her.
oh, okay. Is there anybody, any other ones we haven't talked about that
No,
are hanging out there to, cover?
No.
All right. We're seeing a lot of salary requests, which
Mhm.
y'all probably have noticed.
Yeah.
So I think we are gonna have to do a deeper dive, the three of us, next week before we give the budget to y'all on Friday.
Mhm.
And I'm suggesting that we almost have a work session when the meeting starts before you make your decision, so that we can update you on all what we've decided that is the best thing to do.
And we can get that information before we
Get it
show up
before.
for the work
Yeah.
session. Okay.
Yeah, but it may be Thursday before, because it's going to take all week to try to
Right.
put together all that we've learned these 3 days, and then especially to point out and do a different analysis for the salaries, because it's quite extensive,
Mhm.
as y'all noticed. So
Yeah. And we have a lot of I'll call it what it is, poaching going on. It happens. You heard yesterday with the DA's office, the supplemental that they have
yes,
is specifically in order to get their salary up so that they don't go
mm-hmm,
Chattanooga or Atlanta or in between.
right,
And then we saw it here with him wanting a 5% because they're being poached. And you're going to hear it again from the sheriff's office.
and I think
With
Carter,
deputies happens all the time.
It's
the
every,
clerk's office, is going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
fire department, same thing,
Yeah.
for years.
And you can't blame the
Yeah,
employees if they're being offered that much more money. I know
Right.
with the deputies, it's quite a bit if they go to Hamilton County.
yeah.
So just
I
something
think
we're going to be up against.
That's the analysis we need to look at.
Yeah.
We've got to be reasonable about it. We can't try to keep everybody.
Nope.
We can't afford to do that.
There's a balance.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. There's a balance.
Yeah, and with ever increasing budget and with ever increasing wages and the cost, that's kind of one of the top tier items. That you can here again, you can have everything you need, but if you don't have good people to
Yeah.
fill those positions,
Right.
and so that's when you have to start really digging into some of the department, the things that are conveniences or accept or
Right.
not necessities.
No, I know.
What I'm saying is, you've got those, those things that are more, to me, would be the necessities that are much harder to replace those skill positions. Then some of them we don't even train. These are the ones that we train and have that training. I think that's what you got to really protect, because that's where your major investment is.
Yeah.
A lot of these other positions and some of the other, that's not saying they can be replaced, but
Right.
we all can be replaced, but they're easier to replace. They don't affect operations as bad as, like you said, your sheriff's department, your district attorney's office, your public safety, those things that really are major, what are at the top of the list of what the services that we are to really provide,
And the strain is, too, that the county's growing. So when there's more people, there's more work to do.
Yes.
And that's in every department, as we're learning, that everybody's critical to the service that we deliver and the things that have to be done in the county by law.
Right.
So, the growth it's good in some degrees and really rough on us in another. Let me see if Sharon's out there. I saw someone come in. This is Sharon. She's not there yet.
They won't. But you can't keep chasing that.
No, but you got to try to get a grip, get a leash on it. Anyway.
Right. You got to.
We'll take a 5-minute restroom break.
We can. Yep. Let's take a break. 5 minutes. Right, we are back in session. Victim is
Angie, don't start.
Sharon Evans, the deputy, no, you're now the
Tax
tax commissioner, yes.
Yes.
So, the tax commissioner, so
Yes.
we usually let Christian start off and then you can add to whatever you want to add.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, the budget is decreasing, so we do like to see that. And that's just due to some staffing changes there was a vacant position that Sharon is wanting to change into a security guard that only works the property tax collection period. So that would be a part-time, a quarter of the pay. So that is a reduction in that position. And then some operating increases, so a few changes where computer services is being coded correctly now, and a little bit of an increase there, an increase in postage and other supplies. But other than that, it's $11,600 decrease.
Sharon,
That is the
what,
best budget.
I told you.
what would you like to add for the board to know?
Okay,
You've not had this budget very long. So.
right. So, like I said, this has been a challenging year. I hope it gets better from here. From stepping into this position, which, I was glad to do it. And it was, a little bumps there for a while. And then 3 weeks into it, when the office, the big flood happened in the office. So we're still working in the rustic environment, but we're making it work. But we're making it work. But I'll be glad, if y'all could give me an update on when y'all think that might be happening. Or
The board will vote on the contractor to do the restoration and in the July meeting.
okay,
And they will most likely start in August.
okay. Well, that's promising because I was worried it was going to start right at property tax season, and getting public in there during that time was going to be crazy. Because I hope I'm allowed to meet with the contractor to see how they're going to do it. Because I've got to decide how to keep the office running during that time.
There'll be meetings, yeah.
Yeah. So, but one thing that I wanted to, and I think me and Christian talked about is during this process, which the front line has to be tore out anyway because the carpet's still under it and it's starting to sour on the front line. I want to while we're doing this, if we can restructure the front line, because, it is a bank building and it's work perfect, beautiful building. But I am running into the situation, they have to stand or get on those tall countertop chairs. One falls out about weekly out of the chair, shooting out because they have to get up and down. I'm having to be selective. No, and I'm having to be selective when they're, if they're having health issues or anything, I have them that I can't work the front line is what they're telling me because of the situation. They need to have their feet on the floor. So
why do they have to stand in a chair?
well, it's a countertop thing. So the chairs are countered.
Okay.
The chairs are in their own rollers,
All right.
and they have to get up and down. And if you stop in, and I'll show you.
Yeah.
And they have bruises on their knees where the drawers, they have a money drawer here, and then their tags are here. They have to push off to get to their money drawer. Sorry, that's my phone. And then they have to push off to get to their supplies. And then they have to push off to get to the printer. And that chair, if it goes crazy, they're out of the chair. And some of them have health issues, and it's I need to become, ADA compliant. I need to be able to hire somebody that could sit in the chairs.
Yeah.
It's a health issue. So, and Christian talked about the other thing, the security. I'm wanting to put on some security during property tax time. I've got to work out because I brought something showing the funds just in 3 months, and I don't know if you are aware how much goes on there, but we need that. Not
Other
only
than credit cards and
cash
and Venmo
Okay.
and cash.
and checks, yeah.
Checks and cash.
So, during property time, you see the figures, what's collected for the county. We are the department that collects that. So,
And then you go across the street to the Bank of Lafayette to deposit it.
and the other office transports. So
So this person would work both offices? How would that happen? How would that work?
that's something that had to be figured out. That's what I'm saying. We got to start somewhere. and figure out how that would have to happen, because I need help transporting stuff.
In the past, generally speaking, haven't they used tried to contact the sheriff's department and have somebody come up and
Have an
escort?
employee that does it. The sheriff's department maybe done it twice.
I know I had some calls from Carolyn back in the day.
Yeah,
Get
it just
somebody
never
up.
works out unless you hire somebody,
I got
because you're dependent on, if they're on a call,
Yep.
they can't come do it. And that's a struggle too for them to have the manpower to do what they need to do. So anyway, but then once we do, I mean, you was talking about SPLOST money to maybe help with that or something, but once we do the Rock Springs office, we need to talk about the Rossville office update. That's something I would like to. I don't know if y'all have stopped in there. It needs desperately updating.
Well, Stacy showed me a picture yesterday that the bottom
Steps.
step had disintegrated where the public goes in and out of that building.
Is it just
And-
a wood step?
Yes. And if you walk in the front, I mean, that was a modular unit, which it's
It
worked
was
out
supposed to
fine.
be temporary.
It was supposed to, so either we need to be thinking about a different structure, or it needs to be updated. They also need to be lowered down to the floor, and it's peeling. The customers are peeling off the wall when on the front line. The awnings are mildewed that they're coming in. It's sort of
Where's it located?
2012 McFarland Gap Road.
Okay.
Do you know where the new Dollar General store is? It's right
Across the street.
diagonal crux of that. So so stop in and look at that. I mean, it's functional, but it needs to be updated if they or think about something else for their safety too, because somebody's tried to break in, kick up under it a couple years ago, because it's just it's got a trap door in one, so we put boxes of paper over it to keep them from doing that. So, and somebody last year tried to.
Trying to think how long, because I was on that project when we put it up there. It was a temporary project. I went to Alabama and looked at it because it's a bank. It was a portable bank building. Had everything that they needed at the time.
Mhm.
And it tore down the old building that had water standing under it.
Right. We had the good.
But that's been 10, 15 years.
It's been at least that, yeah, because I think it happened before we
Temporary
moved
for a
in.
long
We
time.
moved into Rock Springs in 2015, so that happened before that. So before then,
So temporary's held up a little while, but it's time to look at it, I guess.
right.
The property across the street's for sale.
So just something more secure and
Got a much bigger
Looks
lot.
better.
It's a better building, and but it's a purchase. So
something to think about. I wish y'all would think about for those ladies up there, because we do, all the new communities going in up there. That's sort of an embarrassment, them walking in there as representing their county. So, but the other thing in the Rock Springs office I would like to put, and I know they've come and measured for it, but it's never happened, and I've needed it during this construction very badly, is handicap doors. We're not compliant. People coming in with wheelchairs and walkers. I have to run and open up the door for them and stay with them till they get out, or somebody has to try to catch it, because those doors are so heavy they can't function. So that we had a lady fall
And
about
that
2
would be
weeks
like-
ago because of that.
That would be like your main front. Let's say
Yes,
that comes through
the-
your
the-
front
the
door. They don't come
assessors and
through the
everything.
back, right?
Well,
Or
they
something.
come in both.
But you would have an ADA compliant if you
Right,
did. Yeah.
right. The handicap side is really on the side located nearest 27.
Mhm.
Now people still park on the other side and come in, but we need to be able to say we are, and that needs to be done maybe during this construction, because, like I said, we had a lady fall 2 weeks ago. She's trying to get in the door with her walker and fell. So that's my wish list, the things that I would like to have. Now with some of the changes on that I have done in the last couple of weeks, I had girls coming off the front line doing shredding, because we have to shred all of the titles after 6 months and everything, and we have to a big retention schedule. So I've signed up with River City Shredding, and it's coming out really a better benefit. I don't have to have ladies off the front line. I don't have, and they're picking it up every other week. So that's one thing. And we have in some of our contractual, the computer contracts, signed up with the supply duplicators. Now we're buying the printer, but they're doing the contract, so I don't have to keep up with toners and all that and maintenance. So if anything breaks, they fix it. So And I've also centralized departments. If there's one good thing coming to the flood, I will say there's always a good thing. I was already looking at, I didn't like the ladies sitting in the lobby. One, because they can't stay focused on their job. Two, because security, they have money drawers out there. Mm-hmm. The flood, during mine and John's time spending together 8 days with ServPro, we worked out a schedule, and they built the office that was mine that was so big, they divided it in 2 offices, and we've moved 2 girls in there. And the conference room now, we are making it. Well, I had to relocate some of them in there to get them working, but they're also going to divide it up into 2 rooms.
So you don't have a conference room anymore?
They, we didn't. I mean, we didn't really use it that much in the training.
What are you talking about?
Well,
That's civic center.
I guess I am. I'm doing a big job.
Well, there's the big conference room upstairs.
Yeah.
Bless you.
You broke her heart.
Well, it just makes sense. And these girls have been there 14, 15 years.
No, I'm
and
just teasing you.
and
I'll
I
move
actually,
out.
but I'm giving John one of the offices to connect to his hall. And he's helping me build walls there, and then they're going to fill it in. So,
Well, he's moving. Why does he need another office?
ask him. I mean, his office is little bitty, so I agreed that he could have that because back there were all the
Well, yeah, I mean, whatever works, but he's moving. I mean, his not
the whole department.
not his
No.
whole department, but
Two guys, right?
yeah, I think he and 2 guys.
I think it's his little bitty office he built back there. I don't know, you know, and it is very tiny. He was saying when he was bringing people in that, you know, he don't have room to spread out or anything. So I was giving him,
yeah.
it connects to his hall. You could stop in and check with him, but, you know, he's wanted that office before. So I'm just working with him, trying to work with everybody to, you know, it functions better with us.
It's a good time to do it.
Yeah, that's what I thought, you know, while this is all happening and stuff. So, but basically, you know, I you know, don't plan on naming a deputy until we, you know, this is going to be a challenge in the next couple of months. So I'm trying to function and for the county is, you know, to best of my ability to keep it going and work with y'all.
And then you have the election coming up too.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know, this was sort of hard. This was sort of, well, August is the qualification.
Mm-hmm.
And so, well, you know, praying for that. That's, you know, praying for that and smooth going on that. But other than that, that's my wish list of stuff, things I've put in. The departments seem to be working. Tell you the truth, over the last couple of weeks, everything's been more efficient when I've divided it up and put them in the rooms so that they're beside each other, not having to go across the hall and people are not totally interrupting them every 5 minutes in the lobby.
Yeah.
So they're staying better.
How many people
on
work
their-
there in the Rossville office and in the tax? Like
Okay.
each office.
Well, I've got 12 at Rock Springs and 5 at Rossville. And I got a new hire that came in with me. She fills the position of the clerk. But I've got one retiring at the end of the year. So we're bringing one in to go ahead and
And who's your deputy?
I am not naming the deputy until after the election to see.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there's really, you know, until I see where this is going. I don't have a deputy right now.
Okay.
I have department directors, and this has went smoothly because over the years, I've, you know, been there to build a staff and trained them and stuff. So it's, you know, everybody seems to be on task with everything. So.
Does the board have anything that they want to ask?
No.
Okay. Well, Christian, anything else?
I just want to mention that this budget does not include the remodeling things. I moved those out.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty minuscule, like $20,000.
Well, I didn't even know what figure to put, so I
Yeah.
put 20,000 because I didn't know, but it really could be incorporated in with the remodel because they have to tear that out to get the carpet done anyway, and it would be the best time to do it. And then if we could let whoever the contractor, you know, bid that in, because there's no sense of having the contractor do the work, then have the county come back in and rip it out again and start up, you know, have 2 construction periods. I'd like for it to all happen together if we could.
Yeah, I don't know what the insurance will allow. I would think that they would allow that didn't that county get included in the damage?
Yeah, he said that it would have to be tore out to get the carpet out from under because Serpro couldn't get the carpet
Right.
out from under it. So it's
Right.
going to have to, because it's glued down and it's going to have to be
Yeah.
took out to get that
And
carpet
it
out.
seems like lowering it will reduce the materials and it'll probably cheaper than.
Right, because I want to take some of the cabinets out and make it more open so they'll have more leg room to move around and stuff.
And Lisa, I think, remind me if I'm remembering this right, that ACCG said we'd have $20,000 for furnishings. Wasn't that what it was? So not a lot of money
I believe so.
for furnishings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the entire building, not just your floor.
Okay.
So we'll see, but we have splosh like Christian was talking about, so.
Well, I mean, luckily it was some of the smaller equipment that a lot of calculators and stuff and the computers, thank goodness when the girls came in that morning, they jerked them up out of the water, the ones that were setting real quick. And now we do have a few ports and some of them are starting to act up, but time will tell. Sometimes water damage doesn't come out for a while.
True.
And some of the desks look fine on top, but they've got mold underneath and a
Yeah.
couple of them, and the drawers are swollen. But I think we're being able to salvage most of them, everything. I mean, we're trying to put it all back together, and replace stuff. And so,
I appreciate that, thank you.
but I had a good cleaning crew. They came in and cleaned their own areas and got it set up. So, but anyway.
Well, all right, I guess that's everything.
That's
Then
everything for me.
we will let you go back to your day, and thank you for all you're doing to keep everybody working and
Well,
moving forward.
I depend on y'all to help and guide me because some of this, yes, I've been there, but never been in the driver's seat if you want to put it that way. So
Learn by fire.
hopefully there's no more fire the rest of the year.
Yeah, I should have said that. Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank
Good
you.
to see
Thank
you.
you.
Chris is here.
He is. He just walked in.
Perfect timing.
Yep.
Captain
I'm sorry?
Anderson?
Captain Anderson.
Captain Anderson, yeah.
Sheriff. Yeah. Sheriff's not gonna make it.
He's on a 2-week cruise.
Oh, goodness, I don't blame him for not.
2 weeks. I thought he was gone last week, but I was incorrect. It's this week and next week.
I shouldn't be gone 2 weeks.
I could go. It would not be hurtful for me to do it. I can't do it physically, but I could. Hello, Captain Anderson.
Good morning.
We will let you begin as soon as Mr. Beasley comes right back.
Yes, ma'am.
We're on page 42.
We were just discussing Sheriff's
You have it already.
vacation that he's on now.
Yeah,
Left you in charge.
for better or worse. I don't know if this will.
I got these.
You got it?
Yeah. Just enough. Okay. Thank you.
Right on the money.
I can make another copy if I need to.
No, I got one extra.
All the way
Is that
down
Chris?
here on the
42.
I'm
glasses.
sorry, I heard you, but I was
All good.
off the task there.
Thanks for coming early.
Hey, no
Yes,
problem.
thank you for
I've
that.
been.
I had actually just.
No prep
So
time.
he told me 9:45, and he said, "Well, maybe about 9:40." I said, "Okay," which is about right.
Yep.
Everything's moved pretty well though.
Yeah,
This whole cycle's moved really well. It's everybody. I don't think we've run over on anything really. Been short.
This might be the first one.
Oh, no. Hey, Captain Anderson got it down.
Well,
Clickety
You
clack.
got a lot
I
of
got enough
departments.
answers for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Captain Chris Anderson here from the Sheriff's Office to talk to us about their report. We usually let Christian kind of lead us into the discussion, so Christian, it's all yours.
All right. So overall, the Sheriff's Department has many departments from law enforcement administration, CID, Vice, Road Patrol, jail, champs, training, special detail services, office and buildings, court services, and the bailiffs. The total proposed for all of those functions is $13.76 million, which is an increase of 1.39. I did go through and change a few things after we've discussed those.
Mhm.
I've sent you that spreadsheet, so I'm just trying to clean up some numbers because there are a lot of accounts in here.
There are.
So try to clean it up and condense it a little bit on a few things.
Okay, you've been, provided us with a presentation, so you can start whenever you're ready.
So on the second page, that breaks down the entire sheriff's office command structure between all the divisions. Basically, all the positions that are filled. Now, it doesn't list numbers here. It will further back. On the third page where it says detention center, this just deals with arrestees coming into the facility. As you can see, in 2025, we processed almost 2,900 prisoners. The population between 2025 and 2026 so far is averaging pretty close to the same. Now, there are higher days, there are lower days. That is just an average. Over 2025, we housed just under 2,500 inmates the entire year. Currently, year to date, we're at 1,214
Do you measure these on a calendar year?
calendar year. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the reason I put the meals in is because of when we get to the detention part, that is a big portion of the detention budget. 2025, it was almost 158,000 meals that were served throughout the year. So far, we're almost at 69,000.
So more meals.
More meals, and they did have an increase this year from last year.
Yeah.
It was, I believe it was 3%.
Will you talk about, not to interrupt you, sorry,
Sure.
but will you talk about the medications later?
Yes, that'll be,
Okay, all right.
yes, that'll be when we break down divisions. Court services, that gives you an idea of the amount of civil papers, processes that come in, arrest warrants that are brought in, served. Plus, they have to provide security within all the annexes, the courthouses, the wellness court, the accountability courts, juvenile court, probate. So basically every court in Martin County, they have to do that on top of serving these processes. So if you go to the next page, this breaks down 2025 and then 2026 year to date as far as what we do on patrol. We average about 46,000 incidents a year. 2025, that was an average of 119 per day. Currently, we're averaging 123 per day. And as you can see, I broke down a majority of the main types of calls. Alarms, crimes against persons, and property crimes, which would be burglaries, thefts, those kind of things. We get dispatched a lot of medical calls, welfare checks. We conduct a lot of extra patrols. You can see that there. Now, we do patrol about 1 million miles a year total between the whole sheriff's office.
Okay.
I mean, we do have a lot of vehicles, but it's because of the lay of the land. We've got a very large county, and especially if you're working C-sector, which is down here, there's no one quick way to get from Snake Creek to Lookout Mountain.
That's right.
So we do put a lot of miles on cars, which unfortunately Splost is able to cover a lot of the expenses on the vehicle
And y'all do a
purchases.
great job, you do a great job managing that every year, planning for what you'll rotate in and out, so.
We try our best.
Yeah.
So if you don't have any questions about that.
I
The
do
next-
have one question,
Sure.
sorry. Is fires in here somewhere? Because we watched a video this past week from Blake where one of your patrol officers was, I think it was a deputy, was like actively helping in a fire.
We do run fire calls. It's not in a great number. A lot of times it's either they request for traffic control assistance. Sometimes we just happen to be down the road when a fire call comes in. We go.
Gotcha.
I think that was that situation.
So,
okay.
Probably.
Gotcha.
so I mean, it's not going to be a high number, but I mean, we do probably a couple hundred a year,
Mhm.
just
'Cause you're
assisting
there,
them.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, it's appreciated.
Much.
They mentioned it yesterday in their, or the other day in their meeting, or their budget, and they were talking highly of it, so.
So we got to work together. The next page, just a breakdown between the 26 amended and what's requested. Of course, with everything, payroll is the largest amount. And then you have the breakdown for all the operating expenses, and then the capital purchases haven't changed between the 2 years.
Christian, did you move anything since from the, like what would be the orange section, did you move any of that money to SPOS?
So no, what would be the gray section, I believe, the capital is what I would normally move to SPOS.
Yeah.
Last year we did an amendment this current fiscal year we're in now. Sorry, we did an amendment to a lot of the capital expenditures because
Right.
My change in capital. So we put that all to small equipment, which put it in the yellow section.
Gotcha.
There's some things we could purchase for with SPOS, but a lot of that stuff in the yellow is not.
So it's the
eligible.
$15,000 limit, it makes it a capital or SPOS or?
Yes,
something-
it's capital.
Oh, capital, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, perfect. Thank you for that.
Okay, now we'll start getting into each individual division. Starting off with law enforcement administration, currently we have 9 full-time employees there. Or they're slotted for 9 full-time. Currently there is 1 clerical vacancy included with this. And then we've had one that's been out on medical, probably Mike Peppers. He's been out for a year or better.
Goodness.
We don't know if he's going to be able to come back, but that is also figured into
Okay.
those employees. Then you see the amended from 2026 and then a request for 2027. And then a breakdown for personnel that includes a 4% COLA. There's salary adjustments. We have to cover some overtime and then all the benefits. And then when you get into operating, all the operating expenses, they cover the technical side of everything, all the software contracts that we have to buy annually. You'll see a breakdown of what's listed. And that's not an all-encompassing list. That's just what I could get from each division that they have to function every year. Vehicle repairs, that's usually pretty high. It covers maintenance, damage repairs, and it's really hard to estimate because, our biggest problem here is deer. We probably get, half a dozen or more vehicle deer impacts a year. And
they've got me twice.
I mean, they're getting worse because
Oh,
now
yeah.
it's not just on the back county roads. You're hitting them on highways.
I hit a buck on 27 that about destroyed my car.
So usually you see it during rut season, but I'm seeing them in the road now.
They're
They're getting pushed out of their habitat,
I wondered if that's what.
just
it
like
was.
the bear out by our house.
Yeah.
There's also no population control in the
So bad.
So
Yeah.
I know that increased 20,000 from 159 to 179, but it's kind of hard to estimate because of vehicle repair costs going up. Of course, we have the $5,000 deductible for each incident. So if it doesn't meet that threshold, then we're having to pay that full amount, obviously, regardless. So
Lisa knows that, don't you, Lisa? Biggest customer.
and then the remaining stuff is there's ammunition budget in there, their office supplies, uniforms, small equipment purchases, and then obviously fuel is a big factor. It's hard to guess what fuel's going to cost next week, especially in the current situation we're in. But I don't think we added a whole lot to that.
40,000 in there.
Yeah,
And I think we were being very conservative with that.
I believe so because if what's going on in Iran right now, if something happened, fuel could go $5-6 a gallon again,
And if we see an increase across the board, we'll make a budget amendment across the board, I think.
Yeah.
Instead of really jumping up right now and going to today's rates.
Yes, I agree.
Next would be criminal investigations. Currently, they're slotted for 15 full-time employees, 2 of which were investigators. They're vacant. These 2 positions were initially removed from the 26 budget because they were vacant. But they would have been an amendment should we have been able to get to the position of being able to hire another investigator. Now, this budget does include those 2 vacant positions.
So you put them back in the budget.
We put them back in there just to cover all our bases.
Just to clear, it wasn't removed, it was just budgeted for a vacancy. So those positions are still there. The budget was reduced.
Oh,
It was reduced with the intent of should it get filled, we could do an amendment
Yeah.
to
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so really no change to the budget.
So really no change.
But we'll change the budget because we're increasing now because of I budgeted for 2 vacancies. So
Okay.
well, I didn't remove a position.
Well, yeah, I worded that wrong. I apologize.
You're good. You're good.
Okay, gotcha.
So you see the amended 26 to the requested. Again, there's 4% COLA, salary adjustment, overtime, and then the benefits. And then the big addition to the operating expenses is for the Celebrite digital forensic software. Now that was purchased under a grant, and the grant has now run out. So now we're responsible for the annual service contract for that.
How much is that?
And that is $22,000 a year. Now, what that device does is it allows our investigators, they can do cell phones, any kind of digital media that needs to be downloaded, especially for like sex offenses and things like that. That gives them the updates every year because these phones change yearly. The attachments to actually get into the phones change yearly. So now that has to be an expense that the county has to take over if we want to continue running that. And to my knowledge, GBI has one, but getting availability to get it done is pretty time consuming. And we can actually do it here ourselves now.
It's a great asset.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're familiar
I'm
with it,
very
yeah.
familiar with it. And it does have a backlog. That GBI, I've worked with them as well, and everybody goes to them. If we have our own, it's just that much more effective and efficient. Chris, do you know if they've come out with a new version of that? Or is it the same?
As far as I know, we still have the same. I don't know if I mean, you know how quickly technology
I know,
changes.
that's
I'm
right.
sure they've come out with something new, but
That's what I was hinting at. Is, do we know if there's a new one?
I can't answer that specifically.
Christian, I don't think Splosh would pay that, would it? Because it doesn't pay for annual things, does it? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Okay, drug task force. Currently, there's 2 full-time, but sheriff slotted for 3 full-time, so there's currently 1 vacancy there. That budget really didn't change a whole lot. And there is a federal reimbursement that comes with part of the partial salary reimbursement of about $58,000 on top of. So the actual COLA and benefits would have been $261, but with the reimbursement, it's what knocked it down to $203.
Do we get a burn grant on that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's the 2% increase for? Yeah.
That was just what we figured up between, I guess I had underestimated benefits. And then when he adjusted his side, that brought it to $203,800,
Okay.
which would have just been the 2% increase from last year or from this current year.
Okay, gotcha. You underestimated the benefit reimbursement.
Correct.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay.
Uniform patrol. We're slated for 38 full-time employees. Plus I have 2 part-time employees. And currently I have 6 vacancies, which is all included within this budget. Now, 3 of those positions that are vacant, we're anticipating filling. We're about to send 3 to mandate. But they won't graduate until probably closer to the end of the year because it'll start in August. So we're anticipating at least 3 of those positions being filled by the end of end of this year, which will be into the 27 budget year.
Okay.
Again, there was positions that were reduced, I guess.
Yeah, you worded it
Last
right
year.
here, so sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure.
And we were able to fill a couple of those, but I think we're still under budget because I've got 2 guys that's been deployed out of country for this entire budget year. So there was 2 salaries there that were already accounted for. So we never had to do any amendment to make up for those two new positions.
Gotcha.
Chris, can you speak to deputies that are leaving, going to, say, Hamilton County or Gordon County or wherever, chasing more money? Is that still a problem? I know we
It
had that
is.
for a while. Can you talk a little bit about that?
It is. The fact of the matter, which, over the last 10 years, we have drastically improved the pay here for the sheriff's office, but it is still unable to compete with some of the offers and benefits that these other agencies have. I mean, Hamilton County's offering, was it $8,000 sign-on bonus, plus they're paying, I've heard it's around $80,000 a year. I mean, we can't compete with that. So these guys, some people are loyal to the county and will stay. And you got some that'll, if they can make a quarter more, they're going to make a quarter more. And this honestly is the youngest patrol division I have seen, because, even our pay to try to attract veteran officers from other agencies, we can't compete with what they're making. And it does hurt us because we have to settle, that's why we're sending them out of the jail. So you're sending young kids, which I went when I was 21 myself, and I was a kid. But, we have to keep the jailers in the line. So one, we can keep and retain them. But at the same token, we're getting a lot of youth out there, and we would like to be able to attract veteran officers from other agencies. But like Dalton PD or Hamilton County, those kind of agencies, we just can't compete with the benefits and things they offer. So, that's why we did ask for a 4% COLA to get that entry level pay up. Now we are better than we were last year as far as personnel, but we're still not full. And I think we have the ability to get full this year, but we're always going to have attrition. You're going to have somebody that's going to have. We've had a couple leave just completely got out of law enforcement, and it's because, we do have a lot of call volume. We've hired people that made it a few weeks and then they quit because they couldn't keep up with the call volume. Mm-hmm. They come from an agency that just might have 2 or 3 calls a day, and you're coming into over 100 a day. It was hard for them to keep up.
Rude awakening.
So, that is our goal, is to try to get to a point where we can not only attract good veteran officers, but to retain them, past just a few years, because there is a big financial investment in each officer as we go, between uniforms, gear, equipment, body armor, and we have to fit body armor to a person. So once it's fit to them, technically we're not supposed to allow somebody else to wear it.
And then we also pay for mandate school when they come.
And we pay for mandate, which they've changed now. They've changed the law starting July 1. It's a 3-year, 100%. If they leave within 3 years, they have to reimburse the county for all expenses, 100%.
On that, just curiosity on that body armor stuff. So, like I said, when somebody leaves and it's fitted for them, can you market it to other agencies? Somebody that would, or is it just a total loss, and do we destroy it, or what do we do?
We don't destroy it. We have had some officers leave to go to other agencies, and that other agencies requested to purchase.
I got you.
Now, I do have a grant that I go through that pays for 50% of the body armor cost, so I can only charge them for the county portion of it. I can't charge them for the full amount.
Gotcha.
Now, what we do have, I put on new officers until their fitted body armor comes in. So I do use it.
I got you.
I just can't assign it permanently to somebody.
Thank you for that.
And that's just because of the way the federal grant works.
Didn't know that. That's good information. Thank you.
So you see there, I think the extra detail reimbursements that we get, this is from work in traffic control details, things like that. Wedding venues, we do a lot of security off duty that we run through payroll. I think that's actually probably going to be closer to 15 to 20,000 reimbursement a year. I know the Ironman, this previous Ironman we just got in, that reimbursement alone was almost 19,000, which you'll be getting out here in a day or two. So that's probably a real low reimbursement on payroll than what I'm anticipating. I really think that'll be more. We did have an increase in the technical service fees. What that covers is our annual recertification of our radar and LiDAR devices that we have to do by statute. It also includes, we have an aerial drone unit now that pays their software. It helps keep in compliance with the FAA, records, training, things like that. So that's going to be an annual fee right now, and I think it's about $5,400 a year, which honestly, for what it does, it was the cheapest software that we could find that would do that.
If you gotta purchase a drone,
That's typically, Patrol has a capital account that is the potential that we want to look at looking at another purchase of a drone with the capability of dropping a payload. The one we have now, it can carry about 6 pounds. So if we need to get something into somebody, or first aid kit, cell phone, something that's maybe off in the woods, we can actually take a drone in and drop that to them until we can get to them. That runs about, the one we bought last year ran about $18,000, but it's thermal. It does night vision. Day or night we can use it. You can fly in any kind of weather, rain, snow, and even up to pretty high mile per hour winds. So we've used it several times for search and rescue with the fire department, with us. Other agencies have requested us. So we're making that available, not just to the county, but we're trying to help those outside the county that don't have the ability.
so you have one now, but you want another one.
We would like to have another one.
And what,
Because
how much did you put
it's
in the
about we put 20,000
Okay.
in for that. And the reason I'm saying that is right now you've got, basically the same person that's on call day in, day out.
Yeah.
So we're trying to add people so that's not the same person having to get called every day, every night.
Do they
Who's
take it?
piloting that now, Chris?
Well, right now we've actually got 3 pilots that are 107 licensed. Andy Blesh, he's actually the one that's heading up the program. You got Bobby McNabb, and then you got Landon Carter.
Okay.
And they're all 107 pilots. And we've actually got one more that's in training, but until he gets it, we're not making him functional.
Sure.
Christian, wouldn't that be a SPOS purchase? Because that's a capital purchase. Technology. Would it be technology? We've got a
Yeah, but
section for that.
I don't know that it'd fit in the guidelines that we have for the sheriff's office. We do have sheriff vehicles, cameras.
For this.
Got a
new
camera on
SPOS,
it, doesn't it?
The new
That's
SPOS
what it
is.
does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a camera. It's just a flying camera.
There you go.
So there you go.
It's a vehicle.
A new SPOS.
It's a vehicle. It's a vehicle and a camera. There you go, Brian. It really is. I mean, so there we go.
That's
Great point,
such a
Chief.
valuable tool.
It is. I can't. We've actually bought a few of the small ones. It just has regular camera just for the SWAT team. We figured, why not send that in a house instead of a person? We send it in a house and do reconnaissance before we have to send anybody in. So it's looking at what they can do. And
Oh, it's unbelievable.
I'm surprised we've not done it sooner, because it has been a great help to a lot, especially the missing persons, people that walk off, Alzheimer's, small children. That has helped a lot. Especially we did one up on Lula Lake Land Trust, and they flew and hot spot right there, and right there they were.
Really?
Yeah. So it's been a great asset.
There is in the new SPOS as well, $5 million, but I think a lot of that's allocated to vehicles and other equipment that's needed. So,
But we have current SPOS money for that. And it doesn't even have to be the sheriff's. We could, or does it have to be a sheriff? It doesn't have to be a sheriff, does it?
there is a computer, which is technological advancements, SPOS project. But I think we could use the camera, even though it's over with some of the excess.
Yeah,
It's just
exactly.
$20,000.
For this year.
That would be, if the board would have to approve it though, since it's over. Yes, for this 2020 SPOS.
Yeah, okay. Well, Chris, we'll get back with you on that, because you might get
That's
that sooner than later.
Okay. Any other questions on patrol?
Thank you.
All right. Jail operations, they're slotted for 38 full-time employees. They currently have 4 part-time employees, but they have 4 vacancies, which are figured into the 27 request, which you can see there. They're probably the highest operating cost of the sheriff's office due to inmate care and you can see there inmate dental, inmate medical is contracted through a medical group with also a psychologist contracts involved in it. I believe the new bid, it actually had went up, and
Dr. Azar still our guy.
correct.
This is the nurse too.
This is it covers the doctor, the nurses 7 days a week, I think 12 hours a day. I can't give you all the specifics of what the contract actually covers, but it takes the place of the nurses that we had prior.
Yeah.
And then whatever the doctor that would come in and see them on occasion.
It's hard to retain that staff.
It is.
Nobody wants to do that job for them.
Is that difficult
Yeah.
environment?
Yeah.
It's hard.
So yeah, there was a $149,000 increase with that, but I think it also includes, the reason it went up that high is one, the bid was higher this year, or the contract increased. And then it also includes this, Dr. Azar Dickens, the psychologist, within that itself.
Did we reduce the nurses that were on staff?
We did.
So to replace, so
We
it
did.
kind of probably was a wash, maybe.
It's probably not 100% washed, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, those, I think we still retain 2 nurses, but they're in a part-time status.
Okay.
So there's no full-time nurses anymore.
Yeah.
Through county payroll.
Gotcha.
Um,
So, let's see, medical. I was interested to talk about medical because I don't think people understand how much the medical part costs.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's like
It is.
$40,000 a month, sometimes more than that.
We had one invoice for 54. We just
Yeah.
approved at the board meeting.
Chris, can you talk to one of the reasons that we have such high medical is a significant portion of our inmates have mental health issues that require mental health drugs?
we have a significant portion of mental health patients that really don't need to be in jail, but there's no facility, there's nothing for them.
Right. Georgia doesn't.
When they shut down, when they shut them down.
And then we do get a lot of inmates that come in, a lot of them probationers that have some substantial medical issues. So those kind of things are hard to prepare for because one heart attack, they can send a bill of over $100,000 easy, which I think that original bill that was reduced to 50 something was well over 100,000. 300,000. Yeah. So, fortunately, we're able to pay the Medicare rates as opposed to, the full medical bill, but still, county this size, medical bills here we easily hit $300,000-$400,000 a year total. I mean, it just depends on, somebody has a heart attack down there. You get we recently had an inmate got assaulted, and that was very, very expensive. So, and they're in our custody, so we have to cover those bills. Same with inmate dental, but that's not. I know they do some preventative stuff they come in. Was it a couple times a year? Mostly it's for extractions and that's it. So. The other big thing with the jail is inmate prescriptions. That again is another one that's hard to really say, are we asking for too much? Are we asking for enough? Because antipsychotics, somebody comes in with a heart issue, they're on multiple medications, we have to make sure they're provided that.
That's why we'll get an inmate with HIV that's HIV positive, and that medicine is extremely expensive.
Well,
I know when I was there, we had a couple.
We had one, I believe, that he was having to have a shot once a week, and it was $5,000 a shot.
$5,000 a shot.
Ooh,
Just so I can understand a little better, so like if somebody's, let's say, got a heart condition and they're incarcerated and they're on medications and they have them at their home, they've been on them for 5 years, why are they not using their medications?
We try to get family to bring
Yes, sir.
their medications,
But there's inherent problems with that.
but
Oh, yeah,
there's
I'm sure.
issues with that. We can't always get them. And then two, if they're in there after their meds run out, then our doctor has to prescribe it to them. So then it hits the county for medication revision.
Just a curiosity, I'm trying to understand why, because.
We try to get them, but we can't 100% all the time.
Right. That's
Get
a shame,
found.
but that's just an expense that you've passed on to the taxpayer.
Expensive.
And then a lot of them are supposed to be on medications and don't take them.
Yep.
Need
But
them.
when they get in jail, then now
Yeah.
they get put on.
Makes good sense. Thank you.
And then food, that's the other big expense that there was a 3% increase in the contract. And they do charge per meal. So that is not always the same amount every month because they base it on population and the amount of meals that they prepare. And I think, like I say, there was an increase of 3% to that. And I think that's all we did was increase that amount by 3%.
Chris, who still has contract on food?
Trinity.
Trinity.
Yes.
It's been with them for a while now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Y'all used to cook down there.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
I know. I used to pick up inmate to work, and he'd come out with his
Yeah.
gravy and
days are
biscuit
over.
in a plate.
Yeah, those days are gone.
No, that's-
Miss Jean and Barbara Kendrick, they run that kitchen pretty well. But
They sure did.
You know, now they've got it down. They get a certain calorie count, certain nutritional value per meal. So, and it's a couple bucks a meal, I believe is what it's up to now. Maybe around $2, maybe just under $2 a meal.
If someone has a specialized diet,
They do.
do they
special
upcharge
diets,
us on that as well? Probably.
Yeah, they take in consideration any kind of medical diet, vegan, even if there's some kind of religious diet, they take that into account.
Before we move away from jail operations, do you have a separate in here about, I know that we refurbished at least 2 or 3 of the dorms. And do you have a separate section on that?
There
I want to
is
jump ahead, so.
no, there is accounts. I didn't cover that on that sheet, but there are accounts for jail repairs.
Yeah.
I know there's been discussion about the walk-in freezer. The floors need to be replaced. I think there's discussion whether or not that can be fixed this year or if we needed to include it in next year's budget. But there is a running total for cell repairs, holding cells, an actual detention facility, whether it's in the booking area or in the holding facilities itself. We're all the time having to work on doors and lights,
Constantly.
the plumbing, the air systems, things like that. So I think we allotted about $95,000.
Is the sheriff considering a new jail?
I am.
That has been a topic of discussion. One, the question would be, where would we put it? Two, how would we pay for it? Typical SPLOST funds is probably not going to be enough to pay for a new facility. That'd probably be a bond measure, because you're talking multi-million-dollar complex.
Oh, yeah.
How many million? Multi's a lot.
19, 20?
30, 35.
I knew it'd be 20 or better.
I would say
Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah.
Our year's budget. We just stopped our operating for a
The
year.
reason is there's so much specialty things that go on in the jail. The doors, the locks, everything is such.
Yeah, it's not one key that opens all the cells
It's a
anymore.
warehouse.
It's because it's you have to do more on the industrial side of
Right.
buying stuff for it, and they have to make sure that the walls are poured differently, and
Right.
and it depends on how many levels there's a lot of variance. You might be able, but I'd say 30 million would be
Does anybody know what Catoosa paid for their new one?
I don't know what they paid, but
We can find out.
I'm
It
sure
was
it's
built
that.
before I was there.
but you would have to see what inflation would.
There's significant wear and tear that goes on. Just the maintenance thereof, and we have our own maintenance crew. And Stan and his guys do a great job.
They do a great job
With what they have. But it's an old facility and it has significant plumbing and electrical and that those guys are constantly working on.
Yeah.
So, I would love to see that as obviously pie in the sky would be a new facility, but something that we are on a regular basis refurbishing. You look at, we have roughly say 250, 300 inmates at a time. Over 70% have mental health issues. If you look at Floyd County, they have a separate wing for their mental health activities where we don't. That would be a wonderful thing to be able to have, to segregate that, because there's significant problems that go with.
Well, I mean, it would,
Much more
I would say the
cost-effective.
minimum, it would need to be a 500 bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, I mean, we've not hit 500, but we have been as high as 350
Yeah.
or better.
Yeah.
But then you want to be able to segregate certain inmates due to disciplinary issues or
Gang
violence
affiliations.
issues.
Just real quick, how has I know the board allocated that $1 million several years back for that cell block renovation.
Yeah.
How's that holding up, and how do we look on the other blocks?
So far, it's holding up fine. Now, 5 years from now, to be honest, the inmates do not take care of, where they're having to reside for the time being. So it's really dependent on, maintaining the fact that they are not damaging any of the property, which that issue before, I believe, was from water leaks.
It was.
It was
Rusted out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what those pods were made, they're all metal. And, with the old jail being all concrete slabs and concrete walls, then you don't have to worry about the rust issues.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know what the options would be. I don't know if that could be added on another level at any cost savings, or if a whole new facility, somewhere else would be more cost effective. But there needs to be some discussion and some movement, because it's going to take a while. But again, it's not going to be a splost issue. There's just not enough to cover it. It might start it, but it definitely will not cover it.
Most counties take their SPOS and dedicate it to one program. We can't afford to do that because we've needed so many other things.
Yes.
But that one, like Dade County used their entire SPOS to pay for their new courthouse that they have, their justice center. But we can't. We're too big. We can't dedicate the whole SPOS to just one thing.
That's why I feel that in the end, it would probably end up having to be a bond issue
Definitely.
to be able to fund
Will be.
it. So,
Well, Congress just passed a $70 billion Homeland Security budget. Maybe we can get more.
Tap into that.
Hold our hand
I'll
up.
write another letter.
Yeah,
that would be
there you go.
nice.
I already have one up there.
Okay, Chris, sorry, we cut you off your track. I think we're on
that's fine.
champs now.
Thank you,
If
sir.
you're finished.
Champs, you see an increase. Now, there is Champs includes our SROs and our SSOs, which are school resource officers, and our school security officers. Our school security officers are only part of, only when school's in sessions when they're employed. They don't work when school's out. We only have 2 actual full-time SROs that's on the payroll year-round. Those positions of the SSOs are reimbursed by the Board of Education. So those positions are pretty much, by the end of the year, are a wash of what we're paying them. We get that reimbursed to us. So, but it's not, the reimbursement is not all listed in Champs. Part of the reimbursements is listed in court services, and I think we just decided to leave them there because that's where they've been, but really they should be consolidated into one reimbursement, because that's what it's reimbursing is those Champs and SSOs.
So the operating, before we leave that page, the operating expenses, is that an increase?
That is,
8,300, because we have a special account for that comes out of the court system that should pay for all those type things that are in there. I would think.
that is not, there is no increases in the operating expenses.
Okay,
It's the same as for this year.
okay. But y'all do draw from that account that, I don't know what you call it, it's not a fund, it's the Champs account that comes from fines from the court.
Are you talking about date funds?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Does Champs use date funds?
I thought they did.
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm not aware of that. I don't think.
Yeah, I think it is because it can't, I talked to, who was the older person that was over champs? He may be
Bruce
gone
Coker.
now. Is he still there?
Yes.
So Bruce asked me for that money last year, and I'm pretty sure we gave him some because it's drug training, it's teaching kids, education about drugs and alcohol, and that's what that is. We'll look into it. I don't want to take it.
That'd have to be checked. I'm not showing any operating expense reimbursements from any kind of
Well, if
grant.
they're not
or
drawing out of that
fund.
fund, who gets that money?
Well, in the jail, it was listed as the sheriff's fund sweep reimbursement. I'm not familiar with what that is, but is a $28,000 reimbursement.
That is from the inmate commissary money that we were
Inmate
discussing
okay.
before.
Okay.
We may move some expense over. We may code expense to the date fund, but I'd have to do a little bit more research. on
Well,
that to
yeah,
give you an
maybe
accurate-
when I say get that money, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They're spending it, but we're charging it to the funds that we're collecting from the court system.
Right.
We can look at that though and see.
I know that some portion of the date funds go to fund our accountability courts, and that's the way across the circuit. I believe other counties do that as well.
I'll make a note of that.
But we'll look into it.
Yep.
Get back with you.
Okay, moving on.
So training, we have one full-time employee there that handles all the training for the agency, schedules all the mandate, and all the off-site training that we do. And then operating expenses, covers all the training ammunition, uniforms, training gear, any kind of small equipment purchases. And I don't believe there was any increase requested in any of those line items.
Okay.
And then the final was a capital improvements for sites improvements where we're developing the firing range at Georgia Northwestern for them, which is moving along.
Really
We're
nice.
actually already using it.
Yep.
There's still work to be done, but we are able to use it now. So.
Yes, sir.
That's good. So
Turned
that
out really well.
$25,000 is, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, it just turned out nice. I've been up there a couple of times. It's coming along really well.
Is that $25,000 in addition to, or what is that?
That is $25,000. We had it for fiscal year 26, and we're requesting the same $25,000 for 27
What will you use it for?
for site improvements, finishing the lanes. We're working towards turning targets to meet standards with Georgia Public Safety Training Center.
Well, again, that may be capital.
About the
It is.
inside of the building.
It's listed as capital, but it's site improvements.
I'm thinking
Capital.
So-
squash those where I'm going.
It's a capital project that's been going on for a while, right?
It has. It's been going on for a few years now.
Yeah, so it's just adding to that CIP, that capital project or construction in progress. So it can, I don't think it fits in, it could fit in our county facility SPLOST, but this is how it's been funded before. And since it's a whole long construction period, I would prefer that it stay in the general fund.
Okay.
Just
Have it
kinda-
your way.
Sorry. You can move it. I'm not saying
Okay.
don't do that.
I'm just
but
trying to use squash whenever I can,
I understand that.
because it's a big budget, so.
It is.
It is. So that's the biggest, I guess, request other than the payroll.
Hello, Mr. Pittman.
Special detail services, that is to cover our special operations group, our SWAT team. That is all just operating expenses to cover purchasing specialty munitions. That's all the less lethal, gas, pepper ball, things like that. Uniform replacement, tactical gear, and any small equipment purchases that we need, any kind of firearm accessory or something like that we need.
Can you give Mr. Pittman your extra copy?
Absolutely.
We're,
Thank you for doing this, Chris. This has been very.
Oh, this is
Well,
really awesome.
I try to do it for myself, really, to help me remember things.
Brandy, we're roughly on page 14 of that, towards the back of it. of that presentation that you just got.
And 42 in the other packet.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. All right, if there's no
I wasn't.
if there's no further questions on special details and
Keep-
sheriff's office and buildings, there was a 4% increase there. That covers building repairs and utilities, natural gas, water, electricity for the sheriff's office, for the training facility over here in West Lafayette.
We are putting in a new generator very soon, I understand.
I've heard word.
Yeah.
That the jail, the one at the jail is needing a lot of work. Of course, that's the same one that's been there as long as I've been there.
Yeah, I think it's like 30 years old or
Yeah.
something like that.
It's pretty old.
Yeah.
But that, like I say, that just increased, just anticipating maybe natural gas prices going up.
Utility prices do
Utilities.
increase every year, so.
Court services, currently there's 16 full-time employees. There are no vacancies there. The biggest increase was to payroll. And they also was for that other Board of Education reimbursement is shown of $204,000, which is part of that makes Champs, the SSOs kind of a wash by the end of the budget year. And then everything else tied up, uniforms, duty gear, their printing, extradition expense, small equipment purchases as far as operating.
So is this 19% including more than, yeah, you said salary adjustments, okay.
Well, the 19% is not going directly to salary. The Board of Education reimbursement has moved from this budget to the Champs budget. So that 204,000 is not part of that 19%, correct? Or is the,
I did it exactly as this sheet has it. That 204,000 is still listed under court services. So I left it there, but it benefits the Champs side actually is what that money's reimbursing.
so it is.
That really needs to be consolidated under the Champs part.
Okay. We can look at making that change. It's
I don't want
moving from one to the other.
I'll let the sheriff make that final decision.
Okay.
Well, I'm just asking what the $1.5 million increase is. That's all I'm asking. In personnel, or maybe I'm misreading what that is.
Oh, it's the 1 point. I think the 1 point something is
1.496.
What's our current salary and what are we going?
So what I did was the 1.496 is before the $204,000 reimbursement, because what this shows that Christian gave us shows the request of being 1.315
For a salary
for
adjustment.
salaries, because
Is that a total or,
that's a total.
so it was 1.2, it's gonna go up to 1.3.
Correct.
Okay, I'll let you finish. So the 1.4 is what?
The 1.4 is before the reimbursements.
Oh, okay.
I just put that to show how they come by the 1.3.
Before you took out the 204.
Correct.
Okay. So it'd be 12, yeah.
So 14963 minus the 204
Correct.
Should be 1,357.
is,
Total increase of 85.7.
it's actually 1.292,300.
Right. 1.2.
So there's just a few dollars off there, but it's close. I understand what you're saying now. Yeah, it's 1.292,300 is what the 1.315,700 should be. Okay. Okay, so how is that 19% change? That doesn't seem like it's 19% so high. And it's really only $60,000 change. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah,
The 1.315 is the total request. That's not just salary.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
the whole
salary and
budget.
operating
I don't
expense.
care.
Yeah.
I'm not focusing on I'm sorry, I didn't make it sound like I was focusing on salary. I'm just talking about the whole number.
I'm showing a 7%. I think
Yeah,
that's just better.
okay. That's better. That's more palatable than 19%. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's a lot.
Let me see where. Oh, I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. It's the. Let me just double check my work. Woo. I thought it was the taking the vacation and holiday and comp time and moving it up into.
What it is the total for the whole fee for operating and payroll.
See, in here it says 7.
I got a 9% change actually.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I may be confusing the matter. This is what Christian and Annetta and I will do in our math more precisely next week.
This divided by.
Yeah, I got 9%. That's what I got. Okay. Did you get 7? I heard you say 7.
Mm-hmm. Well, off these two, yeah.
Well, if you use the new number that I have though, 1.29.
Yeah, that would bring it down. Yeah, yeah.
So okay, we'll move on. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We'll do the math and talk to Chris if we see something different.
And then finally is the bailiffs, and that is just part-time employees during court. I believe there's 4 that we utilize through the year. And that was a little bit of an increase to, and actually I've got 10,000, but I think total it was 10 with benefits. It was 10,800,
That's what I said. Oh.
up from 7,900.
Do you pay your deputies to go to court when they've got a case they have
So
cited somebody or something like that?
So what we do is they actually get a $25 court fee check from, it doesn't come out of the sheriff's office. I assume it's figured into
They're
the
fine.
state court, superior court, whatever.
Mhm.
Now, if they're beyond 2 hours, then they can put that time down. They get their $25 check for the first 2 hours. And then anything after the 2 hours, they can put down on their pay, because sometimes they'll spend 8-9 hours in superior court.
So that if they have a day off and the court is on that day off, they don't get paid for it?
No, they do if
If it's over 2
If they stay
hours?
longer
if it's
than
over 2 hours. They're getting
That
paid
interrupts
their
your
court
your
fee.
day off though, is what I'm saying. Even if you're just 2 hours.
Oh,
you're-
no, I agree.
That's why sometimes they don't show up in court.
It's rare, but you're right.
It happens, yeah. I mean, this case
I
is
agree.
dismissed because of it.
You know, I've been on that side myself.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, I think that a $25 fee, but I think that's all the court's required to pay.
I got you.
I believe that's even the juror fee is all they get
It is.
for a full day of jury duty.
35, I think.
Yeah,
I think it went
35.
up. I think it went up.
But still, I mean, that's not.
Boy.
$10. Yeah, but still. Yeah. Get
So-
you lunch.
You miss your day off though.
You know, I would prefer to pay them outright on the clock. But that's kind of how we have to work right now.
They're paid by the hour anyway, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be quiet because I interrupted you enough.
No, you're
Does
fine.
anybody else have any questions or have thoughts or anything you would like to say to Captain Anderson? Any last
So-
word? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. It's my bad.
I know it's difficult, and I know you guys are up against a lot of things. It's just a lot we got to consider. I mean, we're
Yeah.
over a 3-year period. We've got a 37% increase in the budget.
Yeah.
So at this current pace, where we're going to be in 3 more years. I mean, I'm not saying we got to do it. We got to have a sheriff's office, but it's just something that we have got to think about.
Yeah, it's a balancing act, that's for sure. Trying to give every department something. And I guess it's going to be up to the board to decide what that something is the most important thing to give them.
That's kind of what we were talking about earlier. You have to,
Yeah.
prioritize
Yeah.
where we got our money invested
Yeah.
and what is,
And I'm for investing in people because this other stuff can come later. as we need it. And Splosh takes care of a lot of capital stuff, so
Mhm.
I think we got to be real smart about it. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Christian, anything else from you?
Nope. I really appreciate this packet. That helped a lot.
Captain's
Thank
very
you.
Except for the last page.
Yeah, I know you're good.
Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Thanks,
I
Chris.
appreciate
Captain,
it.
thank
We'll let
you.
you go back
Great
to your
job.
day.
Yes.
Thank
Really,
you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate
Really,
that very
really,
much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, sir.
Have a good one, bro.
Hey, y'all.
And next budget is going to be the clerk of court, which
And
is
I believe he is out there.
Carter Brown, which is on page 54.
Have a seat right here, or here, but either way, we
Howdy.
want to spread out for you. We'll do that. Okay.
So, how's this process go?
Okay,
Is it
so
my floor or y'all's floor?
both.
Okay.
What we've been doing is, well, I'll let you announce yourself for the camera, and then Christian will say some words about from his thoughts, and then you get to take over and tell us all about what your plan is. So go ahead and announce yourself, and then I'll let Christopher go. I'm sorry, Christian go. He's going to kill me.
So this is on the camera, so it ought to be official, all right?
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Cameron. I'm Carter Brown. I'm the clerk of the Superior Court.
Thank you, Christian.
Yep. So we're looking after going through things. $1.4 million for proposed 27. We did look at a few things. There were some requests in here that we discussed reducing. We took out $170,000 from office renovation. I think there's some stuff we'll discuss later that we think SPLOS could pay for, and then there's some shelving and staff laptops that we reduced by $27,000. And we think these things could be spread out over a few years. There's a scanning project he's needing to
Oh,
do
yeah,
that could
we
be.
want to talk about that
Yeah,
for
we
sure,
definitely need to talk about that.
That's very needed.
This budget does include the Board of Equalization. That is are you over that board?
I am. When you say it's included in this,
It's included in the $1.4 million budget. It is just 13.
It's at the very top of page
Okay.
54.
yeah, it's as long as it's clear that it's a separate line item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then I'll let you take the floor from there.
So, I was at Walmart about 3 years ago, and I was in the front part of the store there, just browsing around in the house, and I heard this blood-curdling scream from the back of the store. And I'm thinking, is it a woman or a child or somebody's getting murdered or something? I don't know what's going on. And so I positioned myself so that I could see if the sound was moving. I heard the scream and it was moving toward me. And so I positioned myself where I could step in to help somebody or just see what was happening. And so as it's getting closer to me, I'm hearing the scream and I'm hearing sort of what they're saying. And I'm hearing, no, leave. And it got about even with me. And I heard, I want my toy. No, leave. I want my toy. It's about an 8-year-old kid, little boy. And he was as rigid as he could be. He was like Superman flying, like this. And his grandmother had him up under the waist like this. And she's carrying him. He's just screaming, I want my toy. I want my toy. Hush, boy. And she had her hand on his belt and like this and just carried him out of the store. I'm just curious if y'all feel like that grandmother right now. I want my budget. I want my budget.
A great segue. I wondered where you were going with that.
That's where I was going.
That's exactly.
But we just were talking about having to have a balance between what we
Yes.
give and what we can't give, because everybody wants a lot this year. So
Sure.
we're not kicking and screaming just yet, but we may be.
Well, let me. I'll be pretty quick here. I know y'all got a lot going on. Is this your third day of doing this?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. So this will be fairly quick. You can have this for your
And,
Thanks,
Carter,
sir.
do you know Mr. Beasley and Mr. Pittman?
Oh, I do.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
I do. You'll just pass it
Yeah.
around, make sure. I brought 7, so I didn't know how many I would need. I'll just go through this real quickly. A lot of people don't know much about my office.
It's okay if you don't have an extra. No, you're fine. You got one?
I got one.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
great.
I got
Sorry,
one. You
Carter,
need-
go ahead.
That's all right. So a lot of people don't know much about my office, and so I threw this little blurb together so folks would have
That's great.
a quick idea. I'll go over some of the highlights. I'm an elected sworn constitutional and court officer. I'm a county budget officer. I'm in the judicial branch of the government. I'm the records custodian for all superior, state, and juvenile court records. I'm the primary collecting officer for all court fines and fees. I'm the county recorder of deeds. I'm the collecting officer for all recording taxes and fees. For that, I'm the jury manager for all trial and grand juries. I'm the appeals administrator for all tax value appeals. I have oversight of the Board of Equalization and any hearing officers that are appointed to hear those tax value appeals. I currently have 11 full-time employees, 2 part-time. I have 5 customer service windows, 4 main incoming phone lines. That's our basic setup. Some of the activities that we have, we file and administer approximately 14,000 court cases a year. We record, proof, and index approximately 13,000 real estate instruments each year. We preserve and make available to the public more than 17 million pages of documents. That number grows every day. We digitally enter and scan all of our daily intake. We back up our stuff in 4 locations, 1 here locally, 2 in Atlanta, in separate locations in Atlanta, and 1 in a data bunker in Colorado Springs. I serve 8 court divisions and 7 judges on a regular basis. We have term court 6 months out of the year, which includes Superior and State Court. State Court has 4 terms. Superior Court has 2. So we're busy about 6 months out of the year. We're having term court and State Court today, actually. We send out 6,000 plus notices in each of the term months. During the other 6 months, we send out about 600 notices. We summons and manage 100 to 300 jurors, 14 to 15 weeks out of the year. We receive anywhere from $2.5 million to $4 million annually. We process more than 25,000 financial transactions a year. I disperse these funds each month to more than 20 different beneficiary funds. I pay out an average of $1.5 million each year into the county's general fund. I disperse other funds to the county that are earmarked, such as the jail fund or the victim assistance program, things like that. We currently e-file civil cases and real estate cases, and criminal e-filing is a little more complicated legally, but it's coming. So that's that page. You can refer to that if you would like at some
That's a
point.
good overview. Thank you.
Now, the next page is my operating plan. Let me tell you how I approach budgets. I do not look at my budget for last year and say I want to add a percentage here or add a percentage there. I do what's called zero-based budgeting. And I don't even start with numbers. I start with my operating plan for the year. Everything I do is mandated by state law. There was a study done in 2010 of all the phrases, or all the times the phrase, "the clerk shall," that appear in Georgia law. And the gentleman who did it, he was the clerk in Gwinnett County. He stopped when he got to 2000, and he was about halfway through it. He said, beyond that, it's almost useless. There's so many things that we have to do. So what I do is look at the law every year. It changes. Y'all know the legislative process. July 1, we usually have some change of some sort. So I try to create an operating plan for every year, and then I build the budget based on that. Now, y'all know my budget's relatively simple compared to, say, Sheriff's Department or something. I basically have 3 categories. I have personnel, I have contracts with vendors, and then I have supplies and that kind of thing. So it's relatively simple. But I still do a plan every year because things do change. Different things come up. This is one of those years, I think. So my basic plan, y'all have it here. There are 11 points to it.
And we can go over those if y'all would like. I'll let y'all read it. I won't take up the time to go through it unless y'all have specific questions. I'll hit the highlights, I guess. I have 2 open positions. I intend to fill those. This year, I want to fully restore and resume my archiving function. We've deferred for almost 10 years a lot of our archiving because of budget cuts. So that's a big thing. I want to move a lot of my other files into open shelving. That's going to cost some money. We have a records storage area across the street. Y'all know where Magistrate Building is? Okay. So the end of that building it's under the same roof, but the section that I have is really a separate building. It was added on sometime after the original Magistrate Building was built. And it's a standalone, solid area. It's about, I think, 40 by 40 or 30 by 40, something like that. But it's concrete block. It's got a solid foundation. The concrete block wall between the magistrate area and my area is solid. I would like to revamp that area at some point. It doesn't have a bathroom. It doesn't have water. It doesn't have a break area. It's just a storage area. So I would like to revamp that at some point. If I could do that, that would help me with my archiving. I could send people over there to work and know that they would be, in a good place. Let's see. One of the things that I have never done and always intended to do, and I don't know that I'll need to do that this year, but that is this. I've always wanted to implement an internal audit function beyond what our regular auditors do. The auditors they come in, they look at all the different departments, they look at the county budget, but the materiality threshold, what they decide is material for a certain thing, is about $100,000. Well, that's pretty high when you're talking about, we do financial transactions that are, $2.50, $210, $164.50, $173.85. Those are some of the fines and fees that we take in. Those specific numbers I just said, those are different fines that we take in. We just do a lot of those. And so a lot of the things that we deal with are below the materiality threshold for our auditors. And so I come from an accounting background, and I think we have really good internal controls, but I still would like to have a deeper look, a closer look. And I've thought about hiring that many times. I've put it in my budget several times. It's just never been able to be done. I will say, I'll take a pause here and say, with Annetta coming on board, she helped me put these numbers together that I presented before this edit. I was very pleased with that meeting. She brings a lot of professionalism to the table. I've worked with 4 CFOs before coming to this job. And I was on track to become a CFO myself before I took this job. I was very impressed with Annetta's take on things, her approach, how she looks at things, how she breaks them down. So I just wanted to say that. I'm glad y'all brought her on board.
So I don't. Good hire.
Yeah. So I don't know with the finance group that you have now, Angie, if this would even be necessary. I could probably pull from your finance team if I could pull them, maybe.
It might be this time next year. It wouldn't be like anytime soon.
Well, it isn't like it's an immediate need, but
I like the idea though.
I do as well.
Yeah.
And
you were, I'm sorry, you go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm moving you on. I didn't mean to.
Okay.
Finish what
So that's something to look at, I think. I would love to do that.
I think it's a good concept.
And I think, they're gonna know a lot of the things that we do anyway. Laura's gonna know. She does the AP, I think, now.
Yep.
And so there's a lot of things they're gonna be familiar with that may save some time.
True.
I need to prepare for criminal e-filing.
Yeah, that's where I was going next.
Yeah.
Do you think this might be something, we talked about this same concept with other department heads and now the elected officials, that you think it's coming, you probably know it's coming, but we don't know when. So we're of the opinion that amendments to budgets can happen when and if the imminent thing does happen.
Mid-year.
If it doesn't happen, if it doesn't happen, then no harm, no foul. It wasn't in the budget anyway.
Yeah.
So are you okay with that concept?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. I mean, I realize every dime that you put into a budget, you're then going to have to turn around and pull some tax money for it.
Something, yeah.
So, I'm not in favor of cushioning or padding
Right.
the budget because
Yeah,
you're
you're
pulling
not
money
that
from
way.
somebody's pocket to do it. So, yeah. And I pay taxes too, so I'm fine with that.
But it's good that you're telling us this so that if it does happen, it's not a surprise. We knew it
Yeah.
was coming.
Keep
So
in
you know
mind, this is a plan for operating. So how you operate, how you plan, one, plans change. Two, I realize that the budget is derived from this and we have to adjust, we have to change. I realize that.
Thank you.
But the planning is the thing that I focus on.
Agreed.
If I don't have a plan,
Yeah.
everything
Chaos ensues.
everything
Yeah.
falls apart. So
Okay, good.
let's see. We talked about the renovations, and y'all talked about pulling the money out of
Splodge.
this budget.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's fine. And maybe this falls into this next one, item 8. If we have to move, I've been told for several months that I'm going to have to move at least part of my office when the next phase kicks in. I'm going to have to move some of my people. I have no idea how much that's going to cost, how it's going to look. We've been talking about it. We've been trying to plan for it. I don't know what we're looking at. So
I don't think any of us do.
So I put in $100,000 thinking about a couple of things. One, there's going to have to be storage, and not just storage, but office space, because I'm not just moving boxes from one place to another. I'm moving a functioning office, functioning people to somewhere.
And it's got to be secure.
It's got to have everything the courthouse has.
Right.
Security, lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
All the infrastructure, technology, phones, all the basic stuff, power, water, all that.
Yeah.
So
This is the same for all the departments in there. Everybody that's in there, they're going to have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, there will be some people that can move a floor
Mm-hmm.
or two as the other floor is being done, but that means somebody else has got to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So
I put down $100,000 because I'm looking at uncertainty. I have no idea.
yeah.
And if we can pull that money from SPLOST, that's fine with me too.
Yeah, I guess the board's gonna they'll decide once they choose the contractor if this kind of money will be in that budget.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Again, my main function today is to give y'all an idea of what my office does, where we sit in the scheme of things, and let you look at my plan and know that I have these needs. And then you do what you have to do with the budget. I understand that.
Okay.
So I would love not to spend any of that money, frankly. So item 9, complete a comprehensive technological overhaul. I don't think this is going to cost the county really much of anything. I receive state allocations every year of about $40,000. And it's designated for technology. I can't spend it for anything else. And that covers most of what I'm doing. But again, this is my plan. So, but I don't think that'll cost anything. So, to the county. I want to expand our training functions. Technology and operations for the clerk's office continue changing. The administrative office of the courts is talking about a new case management system. That's item 11 that I put here. But there's always things changing. One of the best training things that I have found is I send a couple of my people to Whitfield County.
Mm-hmm.
I send a couple of more over to Gordon County or somewhere else. And it's the cost of travel, lunch and some mileage. But we get so much information from that because you got folks that are there that are dealing with the same problems we are. We all hear the same stories. Every courthouse you'll hear, I'm supposed to get my copies for free. They told me I'll get them for free here. They told me that you can file my divorce for me and you can sign off on it today. The other county said I could do it. We hear that. We hear that stuff all the time. So that's one of the best training tools that I have found is just spend the day in somebody else's clerk's office. So I added $1,600 for that.
It's very smart.
The ALC case management system, I don't know if y'all have heard of that or not. So right now I have how to explain this? The central heartbeat of a clerk's office today is the software relational database that you use to administer everything. Papers are filed electronically and they're filed manually. But if it's a manual file, if this was filed with me, as soon as it touches my hand, within 5 minutes, it's going into a scanner. And all the data on there is going to be indexed and put into the data fields. And the document itself will be captured. The image will be captured. That's what we're backing up every day. So somebody had the genius idea to create a statewide database. I currently have systems that I pay for, private vendors that have been in Georgia in the court systems for 30 years. And they have built these systems the way we want them built. They adjust with us, but I'm totally in control of it by contract. So even though it's their software system, all the data, all the processes, every single keystroke belongs to me by contract. So I pay them every month and it's all mine. The Administrative Office of the Courts is creating their own software system, and there has been talk of requiring clerks to take on this new case management system. I've looked at it. All the concerns that I have about case management systems, software systems, data security, processes, support, upgrades, development upgrades, if the law changes. All of those concerns I have are answered clearly, solidly, stably, continually by my vendors. This new system they're pushing out of Atlanta answers none of my concerns. I'm concerned about all of it. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. But there has been talk that some of the judges may write an order that requires us to take these systems on. Now, if I do that, what I'm going to have to do is run two systems simultaneously, both of them freestanding, because I'm not abandoning what I have. That is the heart of what I do. If I abandon what I have, I've violated my oath as a public official. I've taken records that Walker County citizens have paid for years, and I'm throwing it out the window. I will not do that. And I've told the judges that. They may be adamant that they're going to do that. So if that happens, I'm going to need at least two people. $100,000 is basically two people. By the time you do salaries, benefits, and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm looking at. That is another area, though, like you were talking about with the budget amendment. I think that fits into the budget amendment thing. If it comes up, if it happens, it happens. Yeah, so we don't know. So, but again, this is my plan, and I have to plan for it.
But these plans, these dollars are not in this budget because you're just planning, right?
Well, a lot of these dollars are, I thought.
I don't see that $100,000.
The 100,000 is not.
Okay. Okay.
So this is the 170 change right here?
Yeah, so you see 100 belongs to.
Office move,
Yeah, the office move is 100,000.
but not the transfer of the.
And then 50 will move to initiate the scanning process.
Oh, okay. So y'all have already moved the dollars out.
That's for the scanning, not for the new software.
That's correct. And then Sheldon has been here, and that's what she requires. The new software we're not gonna do, we're gonna take it to commission and the media if we need it. Because right now we don't know if that's going to be the case.
Okay,
So
good,
that's
good,
reflected
okay.
in this budget without the.
So y'all did that, okay. So I see though that salaries are up 23%. You want to talk to us about that?
Sure. My salaries, I have always tried to pay at a premium level. And here's why. The labor market that I deal with, I don't compete with Catoosa County Clerk's Office. I don't compete with Chattooga County Clerk's Office. I don't compete with Gordon County or any surrounding county. The labor market I compete with is the Chattanooga legal market, paralegals in Chattanooga. I did a study, I think I mentioned this before, I can't remember. Not long ago, a couple of years ago, I did a study. I call it a study. I was watching closely. One of the ladies in my office had 10 job offers in a year. Another young lady that worked for me was offered by a Chattanooga attorney to double her salary if she would come to work. I've been able to retain both of those folks. But if you look at paralegal salaries, even in the Southeast, you're looking at $70,000 easy. And depending on the kind of work, it can be up as much as 90 if they're experienced and they add bonuses in. But I think the average around Atlanta 3 years ago was 65. I think it's closer to 70 now. So folks that I compete with are not necessarily just anybody off the street. It takes in my office somebody a year, entry-level job, a year to get comfortable. Okay, it takes 3 years for them to become what I call expert in their job. It takes 5 years on average for somebody to move into a leadership position. There is so much detail to what we do, and my people are my most important resource. You can give me a substandard software. You can give me substandard almost anything except the people. And so that's the thing that I value the most. So that's the reason that my salaries are up as much as they are now. For years, I believed that my folks were underpaid. I think we have pushed that far enough at this point where we're pretty good. So I don't see a big push in the future beyond what we have now, other than, cost of living maybe.
Is that's what I was going to ask you, is your 23% including whatever the board approves as a cost of living?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I looked at the numbers that Anetta and I put together. This is the first time I'm seeing this morning. So
Yeah.
I don't really know.
It does? Okay.
So
What, a 3%? Okay. So then I see that and you maybe just seen this for the first time too, Carter, the supplemental pay, you were paying your folks supplemental pay because you couldn't get their salary up to where it needed to be.
Well, I was
Okay.
paying them supplemental pay because I pay supplemental only when I added duty to them. So let's say a young lady who works for me in accounts payable, okay, she also does archiving. Mm-hmm. When she finishes the month end, then she's got a few days. She goes and she archives. Mm-hmm. She goes and gets the mail for me. She is working in state court right now, taking money. So I pay supplements when people take on additional responsibility.
If that becomes their permanent responsibility, though, would you not rather make their salary just a new base pay?
No, and the reason is this. I will switch those tasks from time to time. So the young lady's doing something now that she does for 6 months. And then something changes. Young lady's doing the mail now. She didn't have a car for 6 months. Their car broke down, and so she was having to have her daughter bring her to work. And so I moved that responsibility from her to somebody else. And that doesn't happen very often. Mm-hmm. But that supplemental pay is based on these additional tasks that somebody's got to do. And I move those around from time to time. So I would not want to add it into
Because it would
salary.
be different people that you may be using in different areas, so you want to keep that kind of movable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if I don't do that, then I add that permanent salary to them, and then I change that task, and now, I'm paying somebody for doing something there for not doing something I'm paying them for. If that makes sense.
Well, I understand your logic, but I'm not sure that your salary, that our budget can sustain both a salary increase and continue to pay supplements. And overtime. I want to talk about overtime too.
Mhm.
So honestly, I understand overtime more than I do the supplements because we all have to do 3 jobs, right? And whether we feel like we're getting paid for all 3 jobs is kind of sometimes the sacrifice of working for a local government. I would like to negotiate at some point after the board gets deciding what they're going to do, because everybody's asked for salary increases to some degree, and it's been pretty high. But we may need to talk about that supplemental pay continuing if we're going to give that large of an increase to the salary, or they may think differently than I.
What large of an increase?
Yeah, you're adding $182,000 to your salary base, which, like you said, does include the 3% net COLA, but 3% COLA for an 800.
Wait a second. Where's
Oh, I'm sorry. It's on page 54 at the bottom.
The bottom, the top category. on the
Annetta,
bottom.
is their salary, their wages and salary, what number should I be using to calculate a 3% COLA?
So the holiday and vacation has moved. There wasn't any there.
I'm just talking about
Probably
the base.
the best way to look at base pay is that salary, wages, regular employees.
That's what I was looking at.
But
So
we did take that 40,000 and move it for supplemental up.
where's the $182,000 increase coming from?
well, that's what I'm asking.
I don't know.
Is also the 2 vacant positions?
If you fill them, yeah, that'd be $100,000 basically.
And something that wasn't there last year.
Well, that answers a big part of it right there. So which am I looking at the FY26 projected year end to do the 3% COLA?
And that's what we're at right now. There were raises given out in mid-year
That's fine.
in the end of last year.
So that's only $28,000 for COLA.
Yeah.
But you don't want any other additional increases for salary?
I think this is just to get him up to just a COLA of what he is now.
And so that 100,000 out of the 182
So
the 2
100
positions.
182, you take out the supplement 40,000. So it's really just a 142 increase.
Oh, okay.
28,000 of that.
So
is
you were
COLA.
rolling the 40. You were rolling the 40.
Just on the GL portion, it's still there.
Mhm.
It's just moved up.
I don't have a clue what you're talking about.
So
The
where it's
supplements are
covered.
still there. The supplements are still there. Your COLA is there. Is there any salary? Is there adjustments made to people other than the COLA? Is that what you're expecting? I know you're waiting on a couple of this you submitted right now that you wanted to increase right in this budget today. But next year,
in the
you
current
want,
budget, yes, I do have some increases over.
are you doing any of that next year? Is that a plan of yours to do any of that next year?
No. Beyond the COLA?
Right.
No.
No salary increases for anybody other than the COLA.
Hadn't planned it.
Okay.
I don't understand these numbers at all.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because I want to make sure I'm understanding. It's really not a 23% increase in salaries, because they've moved the 40,000 still there for supplements. They've just put it in the salary base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you still have your overtime. It's at 10,000.
Mm-hmm. No change, yeah.
Okay, so there are no planned, because you didn't put it in your plan to increase anybody base salary. No base
Like I said, we pushed and we pushed on that for years, and
increase.
with this last year, I thought we got them up pretty good, and
Yeah.
I feel good about that.
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of holding on those last 3 or 2. How many you sent recently? I think I sent you a message that said after we had this meeting.
Right, I understood that.
Okay, good. Okay.
I understood that.
No base salary increases planned. Okay, I think we're good. It's really, it's not as dramatic as I thought it
Yeah,
was.
it's just, the majority, the 100,000 is just 2 vacant.
Okay, perfect. Great.
The majority of the increases.
Okay, perfect. I'm all good. Does anybody else have any questions about anything?
No, I just want to say I get to work with Carter's group significantly from my work with grand jury on a regular basis and with sheriff's office. They are fantastic. Your folks in your office are really on it.
Well, thank you.
They're to be commended.
And that's the right point. They are to be commended.
Yeah.
I try to stay out of the
Well,
way.
they do a great job. I'm with them all the time.
So, I would like to cover the last page real quick.
Yes, please do.
The last page, this is a comparison of, on the left-hand corner, or left-hand side column, my expense budget through the years. In 2010, my expense budget was $654,000. 2014 or 2015, it was $697,000. You see, it didn't go up that next year to $697,000. 17, it was dropped by $267. And then you see what happened in 18. I had almost a 19% cut, unannounced, by the way. I found out about that cut October 5th. And you notice I did my operating plan April of this year. I did my operating plan for that year in April of that year. October of that year, I found out we had that cut. So bumped it up a little bit in 19, a little bit more in 20. In 21, you begin to see it begins to rise, 730, 787, a good jump in 23, and 24. It didn't change from 24 to 25. That jump right there is 21 is when this board came in. And this board has been good to work with me, and I really appreciate it because we were on life support before then. But we had several conversations back then about what we could do and what we couldn't do,
and we've been working to get it there.
We have, and it's made a big difference, and it's made a big difference for my people. I watch people. I've watched them through the years struggle with groceries. I paid the mortgage this month, $800, and my kids got to have shoes for school. They tell me about this stuff, and y'all know how budgets are.
Oh, yeah.
You know how home budgets are. So I'm deeply grateful to this board for everything y'all done for me through the years. So that's my budget side. Now, and that's the percentage budget increases right next to it. The fourth column over, the amount paid to the county. So the amount I paid to the county each year, in 15, we paid 1.3, 16, 1.3, 17, 1.2. Y'all can see the numbers there going down, 1.2, 1.3. And it varies, but it's on average about $1.45 million a year that we pay to the county. The difference between what we have spent in our budget and what we have paid to the county into the general fund, in government and nonprofit, you call it a gain. You don't call it a profit, but you call it a gain. But you can see that we've paid in a lot more over the years than we have spent in our budget. Now, some of the money that I pay into the county general fund is co-generated with like state court, because you have a state court solicitor and state court judge, and they're over there right now going through cases, deciding cases, and then we take the fines. But I would say that the lion's share of the work on the co-generated funds are done by my office, because those folks work the week of court. We work the 3 weeks before and the week after, as well as the week. So I think that our cogeneration percentage is, we have a large part of that. Well, I don't know, but it's more than 50%. So I just wanted to bring that up, that we have always, I've always tried to do two things. I've tried to keep my expense line right below my budget line. I haven't always done that, but for the most part I have. And we have always tried to pay in more than we spend. This year, I think we've paid $1.3 million through April. $1 million through April. So that's just for context and perspective. I do not believe that just because we pay money into the county treasury that we should receive all the money back. That's not what I'm saying. I just wanted to give y'all that perspective.
Very good.
Last thing I'll say is y'all have always worked with me, and whatever you can do, we'll appreciate it.
Thank you for being prepared and thorough. Does the board have anything else, or the elect commissioners have anything? Annetta, Christian, anything else? Carter, last words? Or were those your last words?
That was my last word.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll let you
Carter.
get back to it then.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
I hope y'all do not have to carry screaming kids out.
Me too.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Is she
Annetta asked
coming,
for
or?
a restroom break. Can we do that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Let's take a 10-minute break, guys. It would from our break, so let me do that. Our budget workshop, and our next department to talk to is elected official office of Sheila Thompson, Chief Magistrate Judge. And you are?
Cindy Hollingsworth, the office manager.
Thank
Sheila's
you.
on vacation.
Okay, good, okay. Christian will talk about your budget, and then you can add whatever you'd like to, Cindy, okay?
So it looks like we have a $74,000 increase. So when we were looking at, sorry, please, thank you. Sheila's looking at adding a new position, that's a part-time position. Part-time clerk, and she has a part-time judge as well that was, she hasn't filled that position, but she was given that position in the past. So that accounts for the $63,800 change in salaries. And then the $10,000 in operating is for the printer that we discussed earlier that they're needing.
Okay.
Copier.
We think
Yes,
we
sir.
can probably do that copier in this year's budget.
Oh, good.
My question is about the COLAs. Did y'all talk about adding COLA costs?
I think she figured that in. She did. She figured that in with the, when she figured salaries.
Okay, so it's part of that
So,
63.8?
Yes,
Okay.
she figured that in. Yes, she did. Yes.
This shows 3. Did she do 4 or 5?
I thought she did 4.
Yeah, we originally did 4 and then we looked at
Yes.
the budget again. So,
Okay. Yeah, if you adjusted it from what, she had did 4%.
Okay, great.
Because we didn't know what was going on.
Okay, well, we're done. No, just kidding.
Okay.
Close.
You down for that, right?
We do get, I mean, those are the top
Yeah, we
ticket items we
Right.
try to talk about first. So is there anything else that Sheila wanted to talk about in her budget?
No, mainly it's just like always, we never know how much our translation fees are going to be and they're constantly rising, and we increased it. I'm sorry, I think my phone's buzzing. We increased that the last time, and it's just a thing we never know.
Is this English translation?
We have-
Speech translation?
Every time someone's arrested
Mhm.
and they require an interpreter,
Mm.
then we have to get them, but they have to have an interpreter for first appearance hearings.
Okay.
So that's something we don't ever know. Is we could not have any more
Do
the
we have
rest of
any
the year.
staff
We could
that's-
have one every single day.
Do we have any staff that's bilingual or?
I think they probably do, but you have to have somebody that's impartial.
Like a third
You know,
party or
yeah.
something? Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that's an uncertainty with us would be that. And I don't know if I think y'all all know our jurisdictional limits are going up. So for now, you can only sue someone for $15,000. Beginning the first of the year, it'll be $25,000, which will increase our caseload most likely a considerable amount. We'll probably get a lot of personal injury type cases, car accidents and stuff. So that have to go now to state or superior court, and that's why she's looking at another part-time clerk. That would be for that caseload. And we're anticipating more ordinances.
Yes.
It's already increasing. This year has already been an increase from previous years. And we're expecting
Yep.
that with new ordinances, we'll probably have more
More
citations
cases.
and more cases and things like that. So it's just an anticipation type thing. So I think that's about it.
When does that go into effect, the new limits?
January the 1st. They were pushing
27?
for July.
Uh-huh.
We thought it was going to be July all along, and they did push it to January 1st, 2027. It will be 25,000. So,
What questions does anyone have?
I'm good, thank you.
okay.
Easy.
Cindy, do
Easy
you know
peasy.
Mr. Veazey and Mr. Pittman, who they are?
I think I've met them years in the past. Yes.
Well, these are
Yes.
District 1 and District 2 elect commissioners.
Okay.
Yeah, commissioners elect.
Okay.
So,
Nice to meet you again.
thank you for being here with
Well,
us
thank
today.
you very much.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for being,
We'll let you know about the
being easy
copier.
on me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be great. If we could get that copier, we would be very happy.
Yep.
Thank
Thank
you.
You're welcome.
Judge Anderson.
Those 2 chairs there.
Yeah, either one right here. Thank you.
And this is an out of
Okay, we're gonna, we usually start with the department's announcing who you are, what you do, and then Christian does a little bit of stuff that he wants to say, and then we give it back to y'all to talk about what you want to talk about. So just tell us who, because the camera's on, so tell us who you are.
Let me sit back here.
Well, stay back.
All right. I am Christy Anderson, the probate judge. This is Shannon Ader. She's my chief clerk. In our office, we do what everybody else doesn't do, evidently. We do our marriage license, firearms applications. We do guardianships. We send people for mental help, do OTAs. We do the adult guardianships. We do conservatorships. We do the estates. Missing persons. We do VA license. What else do we do? We do the farms.
And said that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And we do have to certify residency for people like when they're opening a business and stuff. We have to certify all that. Then of course my duties are a lot in my position on what we do. Swearing the elected officials. I have to keep up with all that. Keep up with bonds. And I just signed that yesterday. I think they were supposed to send a copy to Lisa, the blanket bond for everyone.
Yeah.
I signed that yesterday. Just
a lot of stuff.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And people don't understand. They're like, wait a minute, I asked the same question that you did, but she gave me a different answer. And it is different. Every person, it just depends on. So my girls, they answer the phone. They've got their brain's got to be on one thing, then it goes to another thing, and so you've got to be a multitasker if you're going to work there and be able to retain.
The good thing is that y'all been there a long time.
Yes, we have.
Staff is
tenured.
Yes,
absolutely. Yes. I actually have an employee who has been there 57 years.
Yeah,
so
incredible.
I know. Yeah,
That is crazy.
It is. And I told her she's finally just this January went to part-time 2 days a week. And
inching out.
That's what I told her. I said, you can't go full-fledged because, we see what happens to people who retire and are not, their body don't know how to react, and we usually start an estate on them. So I tell her you have to go,
absolutely
a little bit at a time and go with that. And she's starting to do better with it. But I told her, I said, no, but wait a minute. I said, you can't leave until we get this courthouse stable, because when you go, you're the last leg that's holding it up. It's going to crumble. So you got to wait till we get the clearance on that one. But no, she's wonderful, and she's great. So
She's a good girl.
Yes, she is. She definitely is.
Christian, you want to lead us in then?
Yeah. So you do see a $67,800 increase from last year. The proposed budget is $514,000. I will mention that the defined benefits increased by $22,000. That's kind of an uncontrolled cost.
Yeah.
We have less people on the pension plan, and when a lot of people are on the pension plan in that department, it affects that department more. And this is one of them. We did discuss some increases. There's a 3% COLA built into this. And then I'll let Judge Anderson discuss a few other changes she's wanting to make. And then $1,000 in translating fees is another increase.
Yes, the translating, that is something that right now I've not had to use too much of, because it's not really brought in, because usually when we have Hispanic couples who come in for the marriage license, a gentleman comes with them, who usually is their pastor that does the ceremony, and he translates for them. And since that is not a judicial responsibility, we can allow him to do that. But if they come into court for anything like that, we have to have a translator. And so we're kind of seeing an increase around here for a little bit of possibility on that. And our training 2 weeks ago, I actually saw full-fledged what they do, especially the probate courts who handle traffic, what all they have to have. And some of them are paying, and this is ridiculous, but they're paying $500 for someone to be there, and then all their cases they either plead out or do whatever, but they got to pay them anyways. And I thought, well, we're very fortunate that I don't have to do that. So, but they said, you've got to have some in there in case, unless I don't mind if you need to take it off, and then just if we have that, we can amend it to that one. But I just had to put something because I didn't know what it would be or what it would cost on there. And then sometimes we have to pay, like especially if they do an indigent fee. Some of that in there was for the court-appointed attorney,
is that if they can't pay, then the county has to pay. We have to pay the guardian ad litem that's appointed for the ward, or the guardian ad litem and the attorney sometimes. There's two fees there, but I can set that fee, and it's usually, 150 is what we will allow them to charge. We don't let them charge their normal attorney rate. It's only 150 unless they have to really do a whole lot. Then we can increase it. But other than that, it's just 150. But so far, we've been able to, we've only utilized that 2 or 3 times,
We've had
right?
a couple of emergency situations here in the past 6 months, and we're just a little worried about it might
Right. And that is one thing that has really gone off the roof. I think the 25th of this month, you've already got me 5 guardianship hearings. I mean, it's guardianships are really going off the roof right now. And I really think COVID had a lot to do with our mental health. And we're seeing a lot more OTAs, trying to get OTAs sent off and stuff. Of course,
OTA.
it's an order to apprehend. So if 2 people have been in someone's presence within the last 48 hours and feel like something's going on, that they need a mental evaluation, they can come in. If they meet the criteria, I sign the order, and I have to send them to our closest receiving facility, which is either Dalton, Highland Rivers, or Rome. Rome's, Floyd has got a CSU within their emergency room. We've really had better luck with them. Nothing against Highland. It's just they have emergency services there. So if it was something medically, they're able to fix it that way instead of just having it Highlands and then turn around and go. And another part of some of that fee is in there too. I put it in there. Different counties do it differently, but I said I wanted it in the budget just for it to be there. If someone from Walker County is sent to a mental hospital for involuntary, and they get them in there, and it doesn't matter if they came through my court to do it or not, if they're there and they are indigent, the county has to pay.
If they live here, or they say.
County resident.
Yeah, and so when they do that, when they send me, and DeKalb's the worst,
those bills just keep getting higher.
she's gone up to $800 something per person. But I do double check to see, especially if they say they live here, the address. I try to look to see.
Do we verify?
Yes, I do, because there was
absolutely.
one not too long ago from Walton County, and it was actually, even though it had a Rossville address, it was Catoosa.
Oh, yeah.
So I forwarded on over to them and let them do it. But by law, we have to pay whatever they go on there, regardless if I have the record or not.
Right.
Yeah, we always call and give a breakdown too. Tell me what happened in the hearing, who
Right.
you appointed, so we can back that up as to why we're turning it in.
Out of curiosity, just real quick, when those indigent, and if they're a citizen, is it resident of the county, or they have to be a citizen of the United States?
Just has to be a resident.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, we can issue marriage license, we can issue gun permits, we can issue whatever residency. Citizenship is not a question. It's whether they are domiciled here.
Okay.
So we've had a few of those.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So,
ma'am.
but yes, so that's where that part of it is. Now, as far as
Can we talk about your salaries real quick?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
is the 66,700, yes, at the top of that first page, is that including a COLA, and what percentage did you?
Yes.
So it's a 3% COLA. The 22,000 is defined benefits, so the pension.
Okay.
And then the remainder is some other responsibilities Judge Anderson is doing currently, like managing the law library, our pension, a lot of other things. And I'll let her explain.
Sure.
further.
Yes. Yeah. What I talked to Christian about, and I wanted to explain everything. Back in 2011, when I was appointed, then the way the law's written, you maintain the salary that was there, or whatever, and that person. Then when I was elected, then the county could either make you go back to the beginning pay of what that starting pay was, or could leave where it was. At that time, we were in a very bad situation with our budget. So BB told me, she said, and I think it was Don Oliver at the time, came in and said, if we drop you back down to this, we will bring you back up when things get better. And I said, that's fine, whatever. From 2011 until July of 2015, I did not replace myself. I did not hire anybody. I was clerk and judge in the same. I did not give my employees a raise whatsoever for all those years because we were in such a bad shape. Other departments had this, bought this. Over here, she would do things. That's fine. That's okay. I want to do what I want to do on there. So, of course, when it got to the point where when I come and talked to her about that and said, hey, is there a way that this can be done or whatever? And I do know some others who were in the same boat as me. Their salaries didn't drop back down. They were able to keep it and keep going. And that's why she said we'd do it later. And I said, that's fine. But, there's other people who get a supplement for being the clerk of their court. Well, I'm the clerk of my own court, so I do that myself with that one. The law library our chief judge, House, chose that he did not want to pay the person to manage our law library anymore. So that was given to me to do. So I have to manage that monthly and do that, which is fine. I don't mind that. And then when we, both of you know, the time that with the pension with that, there was sometimes there were 3 hours a day and I still get it, and I'm still with that. Being with that, though, I'm very proud to say that they talked me into going trustee school, and I've got my certification. So I'm going this September and get my certification in just the defined benefit part of it. So I'm excited about that to go there. So I have done that with it here, and then just a lot of the different responsibilities. I'm the only, I won't say the only judge because I don't know about juvenile court, but I do not have any help. Every case that's filed in my court is me only. I'm the only one that has it. So I don't have anybody else that helps. Shannon does the best she can with it, but by law, she can't go and carry everything. Right. But, I'd be lost without her. But, I have that. So at that time, it was, right at, what did we say to Christian, about $20,000, I think it was, 20 or 22. But it does not have to be that much. We just put that in there just to come from 2011 to where I am now with that. That was not your promise, and that was not your promise, and that's okay, and I understand that. And if you don't feel like that I need to increase because of all the other duties, I'm okay with that too. I love my job, and I'll just do my job, and that's fine.
We're lucky to have you.
Very lucky.
Well, thank you for that, but if not, it's okay. I will say this, I do represent our county on my training council, on probate judges council. I'm over all 159 counties. I have to make sure the training is done. I have to do the agenda. I have to get the speakers. I do every bit of that for us. And
monthly meeting, quarterly meeting.
I have to. It's a 2-year thing. Yes, I have to do we do 4 meetings. But I have to do monthly stuff with it as well. And then I have to make sure all the judges are up to date with their training because we're required to have so many hours.
159 counties?
So I do that. And then I do, I have to make sure when we go to these trainings that all the instructors are there, that they work out what they're supposed to do, that everything goes the way it's supposed to go. And
she trains on top of that.
And yes, I do teach.
PowerPoints and everything.
Yes, I have to do all that as well. Which that's okay. That I agreed to it. They asked me. And I did. But not patting myself. I want to say this for Walker County. I was awarded the committee member of the year for the entire state.
Congratulations!
So there you go for Walker County. Not me. It's not me on us in there. But it was that because I do take it seriously because when we put our name on that ballot. We are there to say we are going to do this job according to these laws to the best of our ability. And we are here for our people. And that's what I want all of our judges to do. And I know that some of our judges have gotten in trouble for different things. Well, it's not going to be because they didn't have training on it. We're going to make sure that they have had this and go with it. So that's my heart on that one. And they tell me, they'll say, I'm scared of you. You got that mama look and you go with it. I think our president said, when you started saying something, he said, well, she's kind of like, when you first see her, she's kind of like like a Sour Patch Kid. At first you just think, but then she's just so sweet on the inside. I'm like, I don't know that I want to be talk like that. But that's okay. I'll take it. But
sweet but not sour.
That's right. That's right. So, but anyways, but that is where I am. But I am fine. If it doesn't need to come up, I'm okay with that too. It's just saying we're going to try to, if we can put it in there, we can. If we can't, that's okay too. That's okay.
Good.
So,
no, I'm glad you explained all that, and the history is very valuable to not only the current board, but the board coming in. So, because they'll ultimately take over this budget in January. So
yes.
It's good to know about it. Anybody got any questions, comments?
No, ma'am. I'm good. Just thank you for everything you did.
Absolutely. Great job.
That's
He also
exactly right.
handled the Walker County Messenger Archive.
Oh, yes, I do that too.
Personally,
Yes.
Oh.
yeah, if you ever want to take a trip down memory lane,
Well, I have been in there. I've
go
seen
over there,
Yes.
and they've got the Messenger back to 1837,
Yeah, something- yeah,
I think is
1837.
when. And it's all there. I've
Yeah.
had to do research for some of my
That's
podcasts that I've
amazing.
done
Yes.
and in there.
Yes.
So
And we have that. And we did get together, the sheriff and Carter and myself got together because there is a law that says that we can combine in one person. And since I already had all of them, then it just comes in my office out of my budget. So it's not hidden 3 times for the county. It's only 1 time. So, you know, their budgets are bad enough. Let me just put mine and we go with it. But it's what, maybe
for
$1,200, and that was for what, 4 years, 5 years, something like that.
Clyde Castleberry
Right.
does that for us.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
found some of our books and things like that. They're a fantastic
Yeah.
company and probably one of the last ones in Georgia that
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
yeah, it's all they're all bound
Yes.
in these
Right.
big volumes, and you can
Yeah.
go through and you see the ads from
Oh, yeah.
the 18
Yeah.
That's
100s.
amazing.
Eggs for
Really,
25 cents
it
or
is
3
really
cents
cool.
for this. Yeah,
if
it's
you ever
neat to
want to do
go.
that, that's well worth it.
Yes,
Well, history
yes,
lesson.
yes, and go with that. So, but you know,
Christian, you got anything else you want to say? You guys want to say anything else?
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I think Shannon needs to go get her linguistic degree, and you be the
You know what? She could probably with it and go with that. I could and go with that part. But okay, well, if anything ever comes up, please. I mean, if we need to do something, tell me. I don't care. We'll work with it. We'll figure it out and go with that. But everything else, thank y'all. I mean, I know being out here in the public eye, gotta have thick skin, but you know, I appreciate. You know, you do too. The good Lord watches over us,
Yeah.
and as long as we're doing right, and put Him first, we're good.
That's
We're
right.
good. But all right.
All right,
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye. Thanks again. Our last one.
Jad's on the separate piece of paper we passed out yesterday.
Yeah, I had it. Now I can't find it.
No, I can't either.
I had it right here. Just in front of
Hello,
me, like literally
How are you?
before we took that break, and now I can't find it. Hi, Jed.
Hello. Do you all have some sort of handout from me or?
We get,
Yeah, you've
what
got
we
it.
do.
You can give it to, yeah.
I got it.
You got it?
I do.
I had it in my hand. I don't know where I did. I filed it, I put it in this pile somewhere. So Jack, what we'll do is we'll let you introduce yourself to the camera, who you are, what you do, and then Christian start talking about your budget in a general form, and then we break it down with you.
Sure.
You don't need to talk about what you want to talk about. So
Okay,
tell us
sure.
who you are and what you do.
Where's the?
It's down there.
I'm Jad Johnson. I'm the Circuit Public Defender for the Lookout Mountain Judicial Circuit. My office comprises of should be 11 attorneys. That's one of the things we're going to discuss today, covering Walker, Catoosa, Chattooga, and Dade counties.
All 4 counties.
All 4 counties.
All right.
And we provide indigent services for people who can't afford to hire attorneys for criminal court, felony, superior court, and juvenile court.
Okay. All right. And your main office is here in Lafayette?
That's correct.
Okay.
But we have physical offices in all 4 counties.
Right. Okay. All right. Christian?
Does this accurately represent, were you showing a $33,000 increase for Walker?
Yes, but I don't know, the spreadsheet that sort of I internally provide, and is that something I got to y'all?
Yes,
I thought so.
And I think
thought
I
so.
converted it to here, but I just wanted to make sure that for Walker, you're requesting $445,000 around that. I try to round.
Yes, 449 actually is what I've got on my my sheet, and I did bring copies, but I don't have enough for everybody.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's an increase of 32 here, but if it's another 5,000, $37,000 increase.
And it'd be helpful to explain how the 4 counties all operate together with the
Sure.
budget. So.
Sure. So my office is funded by about half of it comes from the state of Georgia, and the other half comes from the 4 counties. The portion that comes from the 4 counties is broken up by population. So Catoosa County has the largest share at 38.4%. Walker County is right behind at 38.3%.
and then Dade County and Chattooga County fill out the rest. So Walker County, like I said, it's proportional to the population.
Very familiar. We've had that with the DA and.
Wrote their wrong name down too.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that.
That's good.
On this, we did discuss, how does your budget fall? Is it, it's July to June?
No, this is the confusing thing about this because we're all on different fiscal years. My budget is a January fiscal year. So these numbers really wouldn't increase until January.
That's where the difference of the 5,000 is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And then and Chattooga is also in January. The state of Georgia is on July. Walker County and Catoosa County, and so is Dade County. And Walker County and Catoosa County are on October. So trying to juggle all those, it's not easy. But the biggest the reason for the increase. And if anybody would like, I only brought 5 copies, so I'm afraid I don't have enough for everybody. But I do have sort of my budget from last year and my budget from this year, if anybody would like to look.
Can we make some copies?
Absolutely. I brought 5 copies with me. Make however many you like.
I think Christian and Annette probably want one too.
I'll get one. Look on one.
Yeah.
So from last year's budget to this year's budget, sort of 2 things happened. I've been working with Rachel Clark over in Catoosa County to really streamline the budget. She found a lot of expenses that we had budgeted that we really weren't using, so we were able to kind of streamline that. And so therefore the number went down. But also, I want to hire another attorney. And that's why there's a net increase. My office has been really sinking over the past several years. Since I've been in charge of this office, we have never been fully staffed. That has changed as of this year. We hired 2 new law school graduates. They are both taking the bar exam in July. We've also hired a new lawyer who has been an attorney for about a year, a little less than a year. And so we are now as fully staffed as we can be with our current budget. About 4 years ago or so, I made the decision to defund one of our positions and take that money and spread it around to my current coworkers in order to help with retention. So we do have a position that I consider to be on the books, even though it's not funded. And that's one of the requests that I'm making in the budget for my starting in January of 27, is to have a new hire that we can bring in. What that will allow my office to do, right now, ideally I should have 3 people stationed in Walker, 3 people stationed in Catoosa, 1 in Chattooga, 1 in Dade. I've got 1 person working on appeals. And then myself and the chief assistant public defender should be traveling around to all 4 counties trying cases. Right now, my chief assistant public defender, Kristen Patton, she's an excellent attorney, but she's also here in Walker County. She's doing day-to-day Walker County tasks, doing preliminary hearings, doing probation revocation hearings, bond hearings, and that kind of thing. I would like to be able to free her by putting someone in the Walker County office, and that would allow her to more freely float around to all 4 counties and handle the cases, the trial cases in all 4 counties. The other thing that will allow our office to do is have a structure, kind of like the DA's office is structured, in that the attorneys in Walker and Chattooga County stay in Walker and Chattooga. The attorneys in Catoosa and Dade stay in Catoosa and Dade. The North, what we call the North team, doesn't travel south and vice versa. If the Walker County attorneys don't have to worry about going to Catoosa, then they can stay in Walker and focus on Walker. Right. If they have to go to Catoosa and try cases, well, they're not seeing people in the jail. They're not filing bond motions. They're not doing that kind of stuff. So trying to keep people in one place as much as possible will allow those people to focus on that one place, including Walker, of course. So the idea is I get one more person. I now have the ability to go to this sort of two-tiered north and south team approach. People will be able to stay in their counties, make more efficient use of the work in those counties. So that's the basis of me asking for this extra position.
And that's critical because of the shortages that you have had. Inmates that are in the jail sometimes languish there without seeing an attorney just because of the sheer numbers.
Mhm.
And they're not able to see those until maybe the day of court, which is difficult.
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
speak to the percentage, just a ballpark, of the cases that are going to trial? Say we've got 300 or 400, whatever it is. How many of those are represented by the public defender's office?
I really don't know, Mark. The most recent trial term that we've had here in Walker, there were several private attorneys who tried cases. My office, I think, only did 2 or 3 of about maybe the 6 or so that were tried. So and again, that's just sort of anecdotal. And really, I don't know that I could even pull those numbers. I'd have to,
But
I just don't know. But I will say this. Certainly, the vast majority of cases that we have, whether it's probation revocations, juvenile court, things that necessarily aren't trial, we have the lion's share of those.
Yeah. And having worked with Sheriff's Office and now with Drug Court and seeing you guys in action, they do a great job. But the vast majority of the inmates in the cases, whether they go to trial or not, are represented by the Public Defender's Office. So it's just the way it goes.
Yeah. And certainly we have a tendency to try the more hardcore cases, so to speak. The last, I would say 5 murder cases that were tried in Walker County, I personally tried 3.
Yep.
Or maybe even 4 of them. So, I mean,
I think you had all but one.
Yeah. So, we do a lot of the cases. We do a lot of the more serious cases. So anyway, I really feel like we need this extra person to kind of fill out and put our master plan into effect.
It was very similar to the DA, and we were talking about how it does make the cases move faster. And I think having designated staff in the different counties is much more efficient.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, trials are the most time-consuming sort of aspect of the job. Once we get a case, it's especially if it's something like a murder case or an armed robbery case, something very serious. You're putting hours and hours and hours into that one case, and if you've got a bunch of cases in Catoosa, like I've got to pull Walker people away from that to handle those cases in Catoosa. Well, with this system, it may be a little bumpy for a little bit, but once we get the system going, if the people in Catoosa really aren't moving, they can work up those cases up to the time we transfer them, and it will be a lot easier for that handoff to occur. And they will be working on it year round, whereas instead of coming to Walker now they're staying in Catoosa and they're preparing their Catoosa cases. And so then we don't have the Walker people have to come to Catoosa because the Catoosa people have taken care of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having that extra person, I think, will really allow us to do that. And it'll just be a lot more efficient.
Yeah.
Well, it changes the dynamic of the way you work.
Yeah.
That's just easy to see.
Mm-hmm. And I will say that Dade County has their budget should be voted on very soon. I believe that will be voting in that extra expense for the new person. I've spoken with Commissioner Allen in Chattooga County. Of course, they're still several months away. Don't have a firm answer, but he seemed receptive to the idea. So we're halfway there, I guess.
Halfway there.
Yeah, so it's a struggle for you and the DA's office. I know you're on opposite sides, but you do have the operations the same way. Is that when one county does not afford their part of the budget, and so another county might, he still doesn't have his entire budget.
Right.
Yeah.
And because we all are doing our budgets different times of the year, he doesn't know what he's gonna have.
Yeah.
Really until the fourth one comes to the table.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Chattooga County has been the fourth county in the time frame. Everybody else has agreed on the budget, and then Chattooga gets it, and they say, "Well, I can't really do this or that." But I appreciate Commissioner Allen really working with me to try to get that going. And we've also, as you know, have been sort of meeting as a group with all four counties and trying to all get on the same page. So that's also very helpful.
We meet at least once a quarter, the 4 counties do. So
That's what we're doing Friday.
that's what we're doing tomorrow. Yep.
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow now.
Yesterday
wasn't
now. I did yesterday today, but yeah. Christian, is there anything else about this budget that you'd like the board to consider? Jad, anything else you'd like to add?
No, I don't believe so. Just as always, we appreciate Walker County being a great supporter and a great partner for the office, and of course we've had some things done over at the office. Appreciate that. But if anybody on the board has any questions or anything, I'm happy to.
No, I'm good. Thanks, Jad. Appreciate it.
Great.
All right.
All right, well, we'll let
Thank
you
you,
go
sir.
back. So thank you so
Great.
much.
Thank y'all so
Good to
much.
see you
Thank you.
today. And I think that was our last one. So if anybody have any objection that we adjourn?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and adjourn us. Then we are finished.